welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay is, I can't tell you, the yay is coming from my pores, Jimmy. It's coming out of my pores, the yay. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
We could not be more excited to be here today. Just want to say to everybody, thank you guys so much for your iTunes reviews this week. We blew past the 200 mark and we're
still
on our
going
way to 3. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. Please, once again, if you want to help out the show, get on iTunes, give us 5 stars, tell us you're following instructions, following directions, whatever you want to say. But it helps us out immensely on the business end of everything, and it gets us sponsors, and it gets us all sorts of cool stuff. So please do that. Hope you guys enjoyed last week.
I sure did.
With Randall Woodfield, the I-5 killer.
So much information,
My God.
So fucking good.
What a mess that guy was.
I mean, good in a bad way, obviously, but so good.
One of the worst people I've ever even heard about, that guy. He literally is.
He may be he's absolutely one of the worst people to ever live.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
An absolute monster.
Just blew it.
Pillaging and raping and killing his way across up and down the West Coast. So please check that out if you haven't listened. If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. You've picked a fun one tonight. Yeah. You've picked a fun one tonight. I'm telling you guys. It's not mellow. It's not mellow. It's not a serial killer, but wow, do we have
in terms of absolute just travesty.
Yeah, and a monstrous amount of crazy.
Awesome.
This is like Mount Everest of insane.
Really?
Here. Oh man, and it runs in the family.
Really?
Oh geez.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Jimmy, this is a crazy one. Let's get right into this. What do you say?
I'm in.
Let's do this. Let's get into our superstar of the evening here.
Fantastic.
Well, he's not going to. He wouldn't think he was a superstar for being on the show, I don't think, but we're going to call him that.
Welcome to the club, dickbag.
It is. This is his name. Fula Charles Ibeabuchi.
Awesome.
Ibeabuchi. He's a boxer.
Right.
Nickname is the President.
Oh.
Like Ike. If you're overseas,
like Eisenhower.
If you're overseas, we had a president in the 50s named Dwight Eisenhower.
Yeah.
His nickname was Ike, and his campaign slogan was "I like Ike."
Right.
So Ike is so he's the president. That's what he goes by, which is ridiculous.
The dumbest thing.
He's born September 21st, 1973, in Esuchi, Nigeria. Mm-hmm. He grows up in Nigeria. He grows up huge. He's a 6'2", 235, 240 pounds.
My goodness.
He's a big dude, man, and he's a big, scary guy, too, by the way. Like I said, grows up in Nigeria. He planned on joining the Nigerian military.
Oh, he did?
That was his whole thing as a kid growing up, was I'm going to go join them. But I think everybody did there. I think that was like a thing. It sounded like that was a thing that like you would want to do as a kid. Yeah. I want to grow up and join the military and be one of those guys with the guns. Or the military here, too.
Yeah,
I mean, people, you never know. But he planned on doing that, and then something happened. On February 11th, 1990, the course of his life changed completely.
Oh, did it?
It did. He watched the Mike Tyson, James Buster Douglas fight.
Oh, boy.
From Tokyo, Japan. You're not a boxing fan? Don't worry, because we're going to get into lots of crime and lots of crazy. But if you're not a boxing fan, Mike Tyson was the undefeated and unstoppable force. Everyone thought nobody could beat him, and he fought a guy named James Buster Douglas, who was a 42-1 underdog. He was just a nobody ham and egger out of nowhere. Tyson thought he could beat and didn't train that hard for the fight, and he ended up knocking Mike Tyson out.
He could not beat him.
No, and it was crazy, too. I think it was in the 8th round, and he just pummeled Tyson for 8 rounds. Yeah. And actually, that fight made me actually have more respect for Tyson, because I said, he took an ass-kicking. Like, he's got a chin on him, Mike Tyson, because that was a beating he took. Yeah, and Tyson basically grazed him with a shot and got a 9 count out of it. So that
lets you know how tough Tyson was, not just to take, but to deliver after taking.
After taking, yeah. And this guy ended up doing it, though, Buster Douglas, and then he got super, super fat and lazy and lost his title in the next defense. So
I love those so much.
Yeah, he didn't go on to be he wanted a big fight with Evander Holyfield, Buster Douglas, to have a big marquee matchup, and lost the warm-up fight for it because he was so fat and shitty afterwards. He was entranced by boxing, though, from seeing this.
Yeah.
So entranced that he took it up right away. Just couldn't wait to start boxing.
He's like, I'm going to do that now.
Yep. Early 90s in Nigeria. He defeats a fellow Nigerian and future Olympic medalist, Duncan Dukawari, in Nigeria. He beats him twice.
That's just straight up confidence, though, to be able to watch a fight and be like, that guy's the best in the world. That guy just beat him. I could do that.
Well, it's funny the way it's actually kind of the opposite of it, too, because he said that everybody thought nobody could beat Tyson. Yeah. And after watching Douglas beat Tyson, he said to himself, and this quote later on, he said to himself, anybody can beat anybody. I need to do this. Like, anybody can beat anybody.
He thinks it's like football, any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Well, shit. Buster Douglas is a no-name bum, and he just beat the champ. So.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
It's not. But on that day, it was. He saw one example of it and went, "I'll just put my whole life around that." I saw one example. That's plenty to build your whole life around.
Anybody can do it.
Let's do it. Wow. So 1993. He moves to the United States from Nigeria. He emigrates to the United States.
Yeah, not Trump's America.
No, they would not have let him in, and we're going to get into some other things here.
Yeah.
Also with his mother, Patricia, whoa, are we going to get into Patricia?
Really?
Let's just say the crazy nut doesn't fall far from the batshit tree in this family. Let's just put it to that. It's
that shit tree.
Wow. His
Fantastic.
mother probably is crazier than him.
Really?
I'm going to say, yeah. It's
she's crazier. She's crazier than watching a fight and saying anybody can do that.
Well, that I could see. Not he just said anybody could beat anybody.
Yeah.
That's not just like you don't have to be Mike Tyson. But that's what a lot of kids do, though. They see the Super Bowl and they're like, "Oh, I could be a quarterback in the Super Bowl." And that's, I'm sure, 99.999% of the kids that think that can't, and then like that 0.0001% actually becomes Tom Brady or something. I feel like that's what it is.
Also, to that 99.9993%, all of their mothers are fucking crazy too.
They're all crazy too. Yeah, absolutely. But this is the background you'd expect of a boxer.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. I always say, we say this every time we have a fighter.
Yeah.
We know ahead. We don't even have to do research. I do, but I don't have to do research. I can tell you he's got a fucked up childhood. He grew up in bad surroundings because nobody with money and opportunity says, "I'd like to have my brain smacked against my skull 14 times in a night." That never happens.
I really want to earn my dollars.
Never happens. It just doesn't. You just don't. You go, "Wow, that looks dangerous. I'm not fucking doing that." You do that when you have nothing to lose. When you're like, "Well, if you give me brain damage, that's fine. I'll be less aware of my shitty surroundings."
Right.
Perfect.
Just straight up desperation.
That's what it is, I feel like. And if you're from Nigeria in the late 80s, early 90s, that's probably some desperation there.
Where your 14th birthday gift is an M16. Not even an M16. It's some shitty old AR-16.
A shitty old Russian knockoff.
Yeah. It's an AK-47. That's where I was going.
Fucking jams up.
That fell off some B-12 bomber somewhere.
It was like an extra prop from a Charles Bronson movie where he fought the Russians and they give
buried
him
in a river for 12 years.
Yeah. I feel like they get that and the Super Bowl loser T-shirts. That's what they get, like excess weaponry.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, kid. So rather than join the military, they moved to Dallas, Texas. Which, honestly, if you look up Nigeria, it's pretty fucking similar. It's not really a bad idea, like, as far as moving to a similar place. Than
Dallas, Texas is Nigeria plus Jerry Jones.
So pretty much, it's Nigeria plus a giant football stadium because it looks the same. I swear to God, the landscape looks exactly the same.
Oh my God, that's
it just looks like barren shit in both places. So
and a rich fucking man,
which probably I'm sure there's some rich men in Nigeria also.
There's a couple making
these child soldiers go fight. I don't know if they have child soldiers in Nigeria, but
they have lots of chickens.
Probably. Now, 1994, Ike is boxing hardcore. He gets right into it when he gets over here, and like I said, he's a big kid, and he's mean too, man. He is nasty in the ring. God, is he good? What's
his biggest punch? Is it?
We'll get into it. Okay. He is just vicious. Okay. He is a tornado.
Really?
His fighting style
can throw
is
everything.
Very much like Mike Tyson.
Oh.
You can tell he is a Mike Tyson acolyte.
Awesome.
You can see it, but he's 6'2" and 240 rather than 5'10".
Yeah.
So it's dangerous.
That's super dangerous.
He's a big guy. In 94, he wins both the Dallas and the Texas State Golden Gloves tournaments.
Wow.
Now, if you don't know what that is, Gold Gloves is an amateur boxing championship tournament thing that they basically find the next generation of boxers out of. When I was looking up all the results, I saw that Floyd Mayweather won it like 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So that tells you a lot as far as that goes.
Sure.
Right after,
also, at 6'2", if he's throwing that punch that Tyson throws, that body blow, that body blow is at my fucking head level.
Oh, yeah. He's big.
He will smash my head like a grape if he's just throwing those windmill body blows. Those things are nasty that Tyson throws.
Everything he throws is nasty. He throws
but that short punch, that quick punch,
left hook on the inside is ridiculous.
God.
Yeah,
it makes my kidneys quiver just watching it.
It's very Joe Frazier-esque. It's nasty. That's what dropped Muhammad Ali. So that tells you that right there. Now, normally, a lot of times after they do Golden Gloves in the state, what they'll do is then they go to the national Golden Gloves and they try to compete nationally. He does not do that because he wants to turn pro now.
What?
Like yesterday. He's like, no, I need to get boxing.
So
quick.
he goes to the WBC right away?
He goes right to professional boxing. He is helped by a former welterweight champion named Curtis Cokes.
Okay.
He helps him right from the beginning and sticks with him to the end, even through the craziness. And we're going to get into the, whoa, boy, is this man. He makes his pro debut on October 13th, 1994. It is in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is where you want to hold all your sporting events down in the Bayou Belt. The
best part about that is that if when you lose, if you can't get to a hospital, they can just throw you in the creek with the gator.
Push you right in the swamp and you're done. Right. That's it. It's versus Ishmael Garcia. He's from Mexico. He is what we like to call a non-linker here. This is what we call whenever we have a boxer and he has opponents who don't even have a link to their name on Wikipedia. That's what I call a non-linker. It just means you don't even need to know anything about him because nobody cares.
He means nothing.
No, his
biggest claim to fame is that he got his ass kicked by this guy.
That's pretty much, that is his biggest claim. I looked him up. It's his biggest claim to fame. Ibeabuchi beat him up in his first fight. Nothing else. Ike wins in a KO in the second round.
Wow.
So he's all over him. He's 1-0, and this is only a 4-round fight, too. These are, smaller level. They're not heavyweight championship fights, 12 rounds. Right. They have 8-rounders, 10-rounders. These are like almost exhibitions, basically.
And it didn't even go half of it.
No. He knocked the shit out of this guy.
Nice.
And the first round was probably him just like figuring out everything, and then he just went and destroyed him in the second round. The other guy was afraid and running away, possibly. He has another fight right away, December 2nd, 1994. This time it's in Fort Worth, Texas, so home.
Yeah.
He's home, so he's probably got his friends coming. He's got family coming. He
promoted the shit out of this one.
Oh, he had it on Facebook.
Yeah.
1994 version of Facebook.
The kid's coming home.
Which was just telling someone, hey, I'm fighting. If you could just tell everybody about it. They were like, all right, cool, I'll tell my friends, and you tell your friends. That's 94 Facebook right there. This fight is against Calvin Lampkin. It's a 4-round fight.
That sounds like a boxer name.
It sounds like a boxer name, doesn't it? It's a 4-round fight, and it goes the distance. It goes all 4 rounds.
Really?
Ike wins by unanimous decision in this fight, so that brings him up to 2-0 now in December of 94. 1995 comes along, and this is when he really, really gets full steam here. He fights 6 times in 1995. Which every other month is a lot to box.
Yeah.
That is a shitload to box. 5 of these are knockouts.
Okay.
The one is a 6-round. He has a 6-round fight against a guy named Keith Walton. And that's a unanimous decision there.
Yeah.
But all the other ones are knockouts. And he goes, he'll have a few knockouts, a unanimous decision. Only 1 split decision. Otherwise, all unanimous. So if he goes the distance, he kicks your ass the whole time, basically. November 2nd, 1995, he has a rematch with Calvin Lampkin, the boxer name. Oh yeah, it's in Music Hall in Austin, Texas. He's 7-0 coming in, Ike. So he's on a roll here. He knocks out Calvin Lampkin in 35 seconds into the second round.
My God!
So no more decision this time. He's improved.
Yeah,
and he knocked the crap out of
old Calvin. Didn't.
Yeah, I feel like Calvin spent the first round running. Well, I felt like Ishmael Garcia did. I feel like he spent the first round running and then was like, okay, fine. He got in the corner and trainers were like, look, you got to get in there.
At some point, you got to throw a punch.
You need to mix it up. You can't just have him knock you out like that. And he was like, okay, fine. He gets 35 seconds later, he's on the canvas. This brings Ike to 8-0.
Jesus.
8-0, and he loves boxing. Oh my God, Jimmie, does Ike love boxing? This is his favorite thing in the world. I have an in their own words on this, on boxing and his love of boxing.
I can't wait to hear this broken English.
It's huge. It's amazing how well he speaks
really?
English.
He figured it out, huh?
When you see an interview with him, and he has an accent and everything, but when you read his words, you're like, that's way better than I would speak if that was my second language. Like he lays out sentences correctly.
I hope he loves Tyson so much that he also has a lisp.
He doesn't, unfortunately. He talks like Adebisi from Oz.
Really?
Have you ever seen that? Where he's like, I'm going to give you AIDS.
Yeah.
That's how he talks. I know. Adebisi gave a guy AIDS on the show. So if you watch Oz, the HBO prison drama, if you haven't. How many HBO shows have I referred people to?
Lots.
Oz, The Wire, Deadwood. Just get HBO Go and fucking watch all of it.
One of our listeners gave me an HBO Go password, I can't fucking wait.
And that was all the way back from like the 10th episode when we mentioned
I can't fucking wait to log in.
I said it in passing. I was like, anybody has an extra HBO Go code, throw it to Jimmie because he needs it.
And the guy
a year later, we get it.
He was listening back to the episodes, and he just emailed, "Hey, does Jimmie still need password?"
I know, that was amazing. I was like,
got him.
What a nice guy.
I got you, buddy.
Thanks, brother. So we have an in their own words on Ike's love of boxing here. In their own words, quote, "Boxing is like life to me. It makes me a better person. Boxing makes me a warrior. I strategize out everything in line, and then I execute my plan over another man. Nothing else is like that. You go to church and get on your knees and pray, but God determines the final action. In boxing, you get out exactly what you put in. It makes you feel like a god, pure."
I am so scared of him.
That's what I mean. He's very passionate.
He really enjoys hurting people.
He wants to punch you in the face, and he enjoys it. He loves it. And it's life to him.
Yeah.
That's an amazing quote. It's like life. I strategize and I execute my plan over another man.
My God.
He wants to beat you.
Yeah.
Good. And we have a lot of quotes like that where he just loves it. He loves the combat. He was a guy who couldn't wait to join the army.
Right.
So I think maybe he likes some strife in his life.
And it's fun for him to be one-on-one because then it's not warfare where you're trying to hunt a man down and you don't have his comrades firing at you. It's just you and him, no gun, and I will impose my fucking will.
You're 6'2", 240 and angry about your Nigerian upbringing and your crazy-ass mother that we're going to get into. Wow, is his mother crazy? I can't overstate that enough.
Goats his currency. He's pissed about all of it.
I have court documents with his mother's craziness that are just insane. So,
this is going to be so fun.
It's so much fun. So, 1996, he wins by knockout. The next 3 fights after Lampkin are knockouts for him. So he's on a roll.
11-0.
He's 11-0. He's on a roll.
My God.
On a roll. Here we have a former exec. This is of this time period of watching Ike. It's a former HBO sports executive, and they're the big ones on boxing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a guy named Lou DiBella. He said, quote, "He went into the ring like a bull with steam coming out of his nostrils. It was vintage 1985, 1986, 1987 Mike Tyson. He was the best heavyweight prospect I've ever seen. He had a world of ferocity. He had hand speed. He had a chin. He had everything, but he didn't have himself. He was never mentally sound." This is a guy.
Surprise, surprise.
Not mentally sound. That's his issue. Everything else, he's got it.
If they what do they expect him to be fucking all together?
Well, maybe not all together, but
maybe a little bit together.
This is next. This is next level batshit.
Really?
This isn't Mike Tyson putting a tattoo on his face and dicking around with pigeons. This is like next level.
That was the boxing executive equivalent of he's not right between the ears.
He's not right. He's just not right between the ears. This guy. When I was reading the quote as he said it, I was like, is he going to say he's not right between the ears? I literally said, I was like, if he says he's not right between the ears, I'm gonna track this guy down and call him and say he's a wonderful man.
Lou DiBella, though, that sounds very familiar to me. Why do I know that guy's name? It's obviously because he was a HBO boxing executive.
He must have been there, and then he was. I think he became a promoter after that. I'm pretty sure.
He must have been interviewed somewhere that I watched because I know that name. I definitely know that name.
Probably this guy knows his boxing, and this guy he said this. Ike is the best heavyweight prospect he's ever seen. And he saw Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So I mean that's saying something because Ike is 6'2" and he's bigger than Tyson, and he has the same fighting style. Mm-hmm. It's like if only Mike Tyson was bigger. Oh look, here he is.
Oh look there. Look over there in Nigeria. There's a guy.
The guy getting off the boat from Nigeria. Let's get him. You fight, man.
Yeah. That's why I hear.
That's why I hear. I give you AIDS. So, sorry. Out of BC, I'm just going to... In my mind, Ike is just going around trying to give everyone AIDS with a tainted needle. That's just all I say.
Blood on people.
Yeah, absolutely. Just raping them in the kitchen. Everything out of BC did.
I love it.
Oh, my God. So November 8th, 1996 is his first fight in Las Vegas.
All right.
Now, if you're not a boxing fan and if you're overseas... If you're fighting in Vegas, that's a big deal.
You've made it.
That's the mecca of the boxing world in the United States. It's Madison Square Garden too, but Vegas is the scene.
Even if it's circus, you're doing all right.
You're still in there, and this is not in the greatest. This isn't the MGM.
All right.
This is the name of the place is Arizona Charlie's Decatur.
Okay.
Casino. So that's one of the.
It's not necessarily circus.
No, it's like off the strip. You know, down an alley.
That isn't even on the old strip. I gotta feel.
You gotta watch out. Not
there was 7 words in that.
Arizona Charlie's Decatur.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not.
Decatur Casino?
I don't know.
Is he Decatur, Illinois? Or I don't know. What the fuck are they talking
isn't
about?
Decatur in Georgia?
There's a few Decaturs I know
I think there's a Decatur in every state in the South and in the Midwest.
You know you're not at the classiest of casinos. Like, you don't expect anyone...
When it's Arizona Charlie's?
Arizona Charlie's is not exactly what you consider the top level of class.
When the owner of the casino has a nickname, you've got a problem.
Hey, it's Arizona Charlie. How you doing? Hey, good to meet you, pal. Arizona Charlie. Hey, you're a big kid. Why don't you go punch somebody?
They call me Arizona Charlie.
Arizona Charlie.
You could call me AC.
He sounds like a shit gambler that won the casino in a card game. It's like, I won it. It's Arizona Charlie's now. We're rebranding it. I don't care.
And he bluffed it too.
Oh, he bluffed it. Yeah,
he had a pair of threes.
Had a pair of threes, and
the
next
fucking
thing you know,
house folded.
Arizona Charlie's writing up the letterhead. He fights.
I want stationery right now.
Where's my business? I want polo shirts with Arizona Charlie over the left.
I
boob.
want her wearing one. I want her wearing
everybody.
one.
Get me some Asians to deal cards. I've seen Asians at the other casinos. That means you're fancy.
I want Arizona Charlie written on all their asses.
Everything. Oh my goodness! So he comes in 11-0 to this fight in Vegas. So he's hot shit. He fights Anthony Wade. It's an 8-round fight. This fight, they go the distance. 8 rounds. This is the only fight he wins on points, not decisions. So he wins on points. I think it's a split decision. He wins here. He goes to 12-0 after that. Now, here he is. The next fight he's in New Jersey, Asbury Park, New Jersey, at the Convention Hall, March 6, 1997. This is his first opponent with a link. This is his first non-linker opponent here, okay? He fights Marion Wilson is the guy's name. Wilson is a hardcore journeyman. His career record is 12-41-4.
Holy shit.
He gets beat a lot.
Yeah.
He is Glass Joe, but he's not Glass Joe because, oddly enough, in all of these losses and 41 defeats, he's never been knocked out.
Wow.
You just can't knock this guy out.
That's a tough dude.
You just don't knock him out. And most of them are decisions. Wow. They're all decisions. Like, you look at his thing, unanimous decision. It's like 20 unanimous decisions, losses in a row.
Wow.
So, like, he just stood around, got the shit kicked at him for 10 rounds.
Just stayed on his feet.
Like, all right, I'll be back next
and
month.
Went home.
Yeah. It's like, I'll be back next month.
I'm going to go home, ice this. I'll be back in a bit.
Back. It's all right.
I'll be back as soon as my face stops with the swelling.
I mean, imagine the brain damage this guy's got to have. Holy shit. So he once had a fight stopped due to a cut, but no knockouts. So this guy's tough. And he fought nasty fighters, too. Yeah. He fought Hasim Rahman, who knocked out Lennox Lewis to become heavyweight champion.
He fought him?
He fought Carl the Truth Williams.
Jesus.
He fought Mike Tyson in a fight. He fought Ike. He fought Andrew Galata.
Really?
Who was a big heavyweight contender. And Ray Mercer, the gold medal winning heavyweight champion there. So
that's a tough man to fight all those.
None of them knocked him out.
I guarantee you the cut was on his fucking eyeball.
Probably,
somewhere like
Well, they stopped the fight due to a cut.
They had to stop it. There was too much. It was on his eyeball or like where the hell else? His nutsack tore. Something that made him completely incompatible.
Yeah.
Incompatible? Incapacitated?
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Incompatible, incapacitated.
Boom. I nailed
those 2 words. So this, as you know, does not go to a knockout, obviously, because you can't knock old Marion Wilson out. So it's a 10-round unanimous decision. So Ike kicks the shit out of him for 10 rounds. And Ike isn't one of these heavyweights that comes in. If you watch a heavyweight fight, you'll see it's kind of lumbering. They throw 1 punch. They throw 2 more. Ike doesn't do that. Ike fights like he weighs 120 pounds. He is just dropping bombs left for 10 rounds. He's just throwing punches. His cardio must be amazing. After this fight, he goes to 15-0.
Good.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're cooking.
We're getting somewhere, and we're getting to a huge fight. This is a big, big, big fight. June 7th, 1997, at the Arco Arena in Sacramento.
Now we're big.
He fights David Tua. I don't know if you remember David Tua. If you're a Family Guy fan and not a boxing fan, on Family Guy, Stewie once drew a picture of David Tua on the wall, and he said, "It's heavyweight pugilist David Tua," and that's the only mainstream thing I can think of. He's a 5'10" Samoan guy from New Zealand.
That toddler is amazing.
He's the best.
That toddler throws the word pugilist around. That's fantastic.
Heavyweight pugilist David Tua. And they're like, okay. Like, Stewie, what are you doing? What'd you draw on the wall? He's like, heavyweight pugilist David Tua.
You're not bad with the impression, too.
I was trying not
solid.
to. But so he's from New Zealand, Tua. He's he's Samoan and just has a hard fucking head, man. Okay. He is a tough son of a bitch. Samoan. He's one of these guys, Tua, that just is thick everywhere. Thick neck. No, he's got no neck to it. He's a tough son of a bitch. He can take a beating. And he does take a beating. Tua was 27-0 coming into this fight.
Holy shit!
So
and he was only 15-0.
Ike was 16-0. There was a ham and egger fight before this one. He's 6. I skip over the ones.
Somebody's about to be and one.
Someone's about to be and one. So this is a huge fight. It is for the WBC International Heavyweight title. So now he went from watching Mike Tyson lose to Douglas and going, anybody could do this, to actually having a World Heavyweight Championship fight in boxing in the United States. Thousands of miles away from being thinking about going in the Nigerian military.
Wow.
And I don't even know where he watched that goddamn fight. I picture it on a very, very, very snowy TV.
Yeah.
Like I can sort of see them fighting in there.
It's the equivalent of Arnold Schwarzenegger coming here and becoming a movie star.
It's the same thing.
It's fucking amazing.
It's astronomical. The odds against it are astronomical.
Right.
You can't even calculate
Not even
them.
knowing the language.
Incalculable
It's crazy.
odds. It's ridiculous. David Tua ended up 52, 5-2 in his career.
My
so
God.
A damn good record.
Yeah.
Tua is a bad son of a bitch. So in this fight, it's a 12-round fight. This is crazy. The CompuBox is what they call the stats of how many punches they throw. They showed that in this fight, in 12 rounds, because it went the distance, 1,730 punches were thrown. For heavyweights, that's ridiculous. That's like what, lightweights, flyweights do. How many did
Tua throw?
Ike threw 975 punches.
My God.
975 punches. So Tua threw 755.
My God.
So Ike was he's dropping bombs. It is the second most amount of punches ever thrown by a heavyweight.
Still today.
In a fight. Yeah, still today.
Wow.
Second most ever recorded thrown in a fight by a heavyweight.
Did you get the fight that was bigger?
Dropping bombs. I did not get the fight that was bigger, no.
Okay.
I didn't care enough.
Yeah, the fact that this thing lasted that long and that many fucking blows today.
That's insane. I actually thought about it and went, fuck that. I don't care who. I don't care who the hell it was.
And when did this fight happen?
This was 1997.
Wow.
July 7th or June 7th, 1997.
It has stood for 20 years.
It still stood. Number two. This fight is a war, as you can tell by the amount of punches thrown. These guys, if you want to watch a good heavyweight fight, just go on YouTube and search Ibeabuchi. It is insanity.
I can't wait.
It's just guys brutalizing each other.
I'm watching that on my way home tonight.
It's so much fun. It's a great fight. Ike wins by unanimous decision.
Really?
So he dominated this fight. He really did. And he's the champ now. He is a champ because there's like 5 different belts.
17-0.
One of them. 17-0.
And he is the champ.
Heavyweight champion, a heavyweight champion of the world from Nigeria. Holy shit.
How did this happen?
You can't get any better than this, man. Now, in June, right after that, and into early July of 97, Ike starts to show some signs that he has lost his fucking shit.
Some instability is about to show its face.
Whoa. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Let's just say that's an understatement. He's complaining of headaches ever since the Tua fight, which, goddamn it, I don't blame him. The guy threw 755 punches at him.
If he didn't have him, I'd be surprised.
That's what I mean. After a fight like that, both fighters should be retired.
Yeah.
They should both be put out to pasture.
It's a slugfest.
To drool on themselves for the next 20 years. Because you can't get hit by a guy who weighs over 200 pounds hundreds of times in one night and be okay from that. You just can't.
And not just in your face, everywhere.
No.
Your whole body is going to be fucked up.
And they were landing blows, these two. They weren't, just jabbing, throwing little punches. They were beating the shit out of each other.
You're not going to digest your food right for a while.
No. I mean, David Tua would have probably had the same thing, but he's Samoan and it doesn't matter. They're indestructible, Samoans, apparently. So he is complaining of headaches ever since the fight, acting funny. He goes to the doctor, goes to the hospital, undergoes a battery of tests, gets an MRI, the whole deal. They can't find anything wrong with his brain.
Really?
Actually, they did MRIs on it.
No bruises or anything?
They can't find anything wrong with it. They're not finding anything, which I don't know if it's because it was 97, if they had but it's still an MRI. They do those now. I would think they would know.
Same shit.
From that, he decides that he knows where the headaches are coming from.
This should be rich.
The doctors can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So he says, I have headaches. It wasn't because I've been getting hit in the head hundreds of times by a large man. It must be because I am possessed by evil spirits.
Oh, fuck.
That's where the headaches are coming from.
Oh, no.
Evil spirits are possessing me. So now he's possessed by evil spirits. Okay.
That's not brain damage. That's evil spirits.
It's evil spirits.
Absolutely.
That's some evil going on.
No, sir. You've got brain damage.
I would have loved it.
How does that not show up when he leaves the doctor's office and goes, they say I'm fine. It's definitely evil spirits. He should walk right the fuck back in and tell the doctors, I think I found the problem. And they'll go, oh, no. We just figured it out, too, by what you just told us. You're fucking insane.
You're insane. I don't know if it's brain damage, but you definitely have damage to your brain.
Either way, you're having a padded cell now.
You're wacky.
Right.
And that's the thing about this. Everyone, this isn't like a hidden thing that oh, hey, David, he's kind of crazy.
Right.
This is
They shout it.
This is known. Everybody that deals with him, and they keep pushing him forward. This is a man who, the silver-haired middle-aged white men in this particular episode are the worst we've ever fucking encountered. They're the biggest scumbag pieces of shit I've ever encountered in my life.
Just enabling his shit behavior because they need the money.
Not only enabling his shit behavior because he's a star, but also the fact that he has something wrong with him to the point where he thinks evil spirits are causing headaches. He's got something wrong with his brain. Right. You don't send that person into a ring to then get punched in the head more. Like, as a human being, that is the biggest piece of shit move you can do, especially because you're making money off of it, for fuck's sake. These people are horrible.
How do you sleep at night knowing that the man just told you he has evil spirits in his head?
You think you go, okay, we're going to take him off the rotation now. What the fuck?
I can't in good heart go hug my children and tell them I love them.
But he's got a belt.
Ugh.
He's a champ, so he's a draw. And the way he fights, people can't wait to see more of him. People love that style of fighting. Look at Mike Tyson. Every one of his fights, they'd go 30 seconds, and they were all full, sold-out pay-per-view. Not sold out, but tons of pay-per-view sales. People like that style of fight. They want to see it. So they need to keep getting him out there. He's so nuts at this point. He began to sometimes think he actually was the president.
No.
His nickname is the president. He started acting like he was the president.
Get out of here.
He would force people to treat him as if he was the president.
This
is no shit.
That's awesome.
He would insist on people calling him Mr. President.
Wow.
He'd go, excuse me, it's Mr. President. They'd be like, oh, sorry, Mr. President.
No, it's Mr. President.
Literally, these are his handlers. Too. These are the people that are making money off him, and they're like, he thinks he's the president. That's fine. He's got a fight next month, and we're making money off it. Let's get him in the fucking ring.
Go get a pigtail earplug and just act like Secret Service.
Yeah, say you're the president. Don't worry about it. Yes, tell him he's the president. Who cares? Whatever. Just pretend.
Dive in front of him. Pretend that you're catching a bullet
just
for
be
him.
like, you almost ate it there, dude. Whew, you're lucky you had me.
We have a new nickname for you.
You're lucky you had me.
We call you Demon Brain.
That is yours. Perfect.
That's your Secret Service nickname.
Nope. The president. At a later weigh-in, and this happened a couple times, he didn't want to go to the weigh-in because he just felt it was beneath him. So his team had to convince...
The president doesn't do weigh-ins.
That's what he said. That's literally what he said. I don't want to do that. I'm the president. I don't have to do that.
The public can't know what the president weighs.
No, they don't. So his team had to convince him. This is what I mean. They literally had to talk him into they had to shove him in there crazy and acting like a lunatic. They had to convince him that it was, quote, the, quote, noble, regal, and presidential thing to do.
Shit.
They literally had to sit him down and go, listen, the people want to see their president at the weigh-in. This is the regal, noble thing to do. It's presidential. And he was like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. And he bought that, and then that's how they get him to weigh in.
By my count, he's still only the second craziest president the United States have ever had.
You can pick whichever one you want out of that. Back to Louis DiBella here. Probably Louis DiBella, actually, because he's again. So
I think he just goes by Lou DiBella. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, they have him listed as Louis.
It sounds so good together too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Lou DiBella.
It sounds like a boxing guy. Yeah, Lou DiBella. You'd be like,
it's like Abe Vigoda. Yeah, just fucking rolls so good.
Not James Pietragallo. It's a little less. Doesn't roll quite as well. It's a little worse.
Just quick 3 syllables. It's beautiful.
Lou DiBella here was around him here, and he said, "quote There were times when he really thought he was. There was times when he really thought he was really a president. He would get into these mental states where he insisted on people calling him Mr. President. It was his alter ego. That's what I mean. And this is how he's still trying to make money off of him. Though they're literally recognizing he's so crazy. He thinks he's the fucking president of the United States. Actually, not even the United States, because I have another quote here that's even fucking crazier. This is when he started fighting with his sparring partners, like for real at this point, acting nuts. He would say, quote, I am the president, not of the United States, but maybe the world.
Unfucking
Not sure yet.
Maybe.
That's what he said, but maybe the world. I'm figuring it out. Not positive. At least the U.S. and Nigeria. At least those two.
As soon as the demons tell me, I'll let you know.
I'll let you know. I got a meeting with them at about 8 o'clock tonight.
Wow.
Holy shit. So now both Ike and his mother, Patricia, here comes her into the crazy. They start to claim to see demons. Not just the presence of them in their brain.
What?
They start to say they see demons.
There were voices. Now they have materialized.
Now they have literal, actual fucking hallucinations of insanity. So you think they would stop everything, get him checked out, get him out of the game for a while,
and keep her the fuck away from him.
No, they push his ass right. They're just keep trying to get him. He's got a belt. They're trying to get his ass in the ring.
Listen, not only are we not going to separate you two, we're going to get you an apartment together.
Yeah. Oh, they do. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Jesus
and
God.
The crazy that comes out of that is something special.
Fuck?
On two different. Dude, just
boxing is
this.
so fucked up.
It's the most insane thing in the world. Imagine if there was an NFL player. I mean, good God, you have a tiny concussion. They keep you out for 3 weeks, which is fine. That's good for your brain. But imagine a guy was like, I'm the president of the United States. They'd be like, okay, we'll get out there and play defensive end. No, they're not doing that.
I mean, T.O. was as close as it gets. He was pretty fucking nutty for a while.
But that was like an act.
Yeah.
This isn't an act.
This is for real.
This is behind closed doors. He's not doing this shit like for the cameras. There's no fucking cameras. These are the people that are helping him. And he's like, there's demons and I see them and my brain's infected. And they're like, what?
Champ, I brought you your water, and I brought you a protein bar. Is there anything else I can get for you? Can you tell that demon to leave, please? You got it. I'll take him right with me.
You know what they should have done? This is what I would have tried to do. It would have been like, here you go. It would have got him like a fishing net and said, here you go.
Catch it.
This is a demon net. It's a special demon net. It's special. You have no, I got this special just for you. I tell him I bought it from like a 100-year-old Chinese man, like the guy who sold Gizmo to Kid's father and Gremlins. I bought it at one of these shops. I'd give it to him in like some special bag, and I'd be like, don't tell anybody, though. Don't tell anybody. It's super special.
A demon Sherpa gave it to me.
Yeah, a demon Sherpa. He said, here. He understands. We get this, right? Like, wink, not. What are they fucking doing?
I said, I need a demon net for the president. He goes, I got just the thing.
The president of the United States? No, the world.
Maybe the world.
Maybe. We're not sure. We'll get back to you.
Definitely the United States and Nigeria.
Is the demon net different if he's only president of the United States or the whole world? Do we get a little smaller?
It's a little smaller. It's like a butterfly net.
That makes sense then. That's totally. This is
unbelievable.
We're already way into crazy, and we haven't even we're dipping our toe in the water of insanity right now because this gets way nuttier.
Feels a little crazy in that water.
Dude, this is the battiest fucking guy ever. And the thing is, I feel bad for him because they're using him.
That's the problem is they're just enabling the crazy because they need the money. And they probably don't even need it, but they just want it. They're just being dicks.
No, this is like Bob Arum, and we'll get into him. He's
no way.
Rich. He has hundreds of millions of dollars that he's robbed from fighters and robbed from people. He's a fucking criminal, that guy. Yes, I said that. He's a fucking criminal.
Ludabella's rich as fuck.
Oh, yeah. He's rich as fuck. All these people are rich as fuck, and they're rich as fuck because they force people with brain damage and insanity to get into rings and punch each other for fucking 12 rounds. That's why they're crazy.
Awesome.
On two separate occasions.
Yeah.
Two, not one. Once, maybe a bad day. Twice, you go, holy fuck, put this guy in a cage. On two different occasions, handlers had to drag him onto airplanes, kicking and screaming, because he thought there were demons on the plane.
Oh, my God.
Who the fuck would let him on the plane then? Imagine you have a 6'2", 240-pound, absolutely insane, out of his mind person who's a trained fucking badass, one of the baddest heavyweight fighters in the world. You're going to drag him into an enclosed metal fucking tube that he doesn't want to be in? No.
Clearly pre-9/11.
But I have written on this. You're right here on the car, pre-9/11. Because there's no way they're letting a guy with some foreign accent go, I give you AIDS. They're letting him on a fucking plane?
I give all demons in front of you AIDS.
There are demons. They would shoot this fucking guy now on the plane.
Oh, my God.
An air marshal would have him dead in 5 seconds. FBI would be on there taking him off. We'd never see him again. He'd be in fucking Guantanamo in 2 minutes. You kidding me, man? This here, they were like, well,
he would be the tippy top of the naked pyramid in Guantanamo.
Absolutely. Or
in a second.
Abu Ghraib, that was.
Abu Ghraib, that's the one.
I'm telling you, dude, it's insane. It's insane, and they just let him on. That's how important his handlers were. These people were so rich and powerful and everything else that they were like, we'll let him on. Yeah, well, he's probably in first class.
Put him in a cage. I don't give a shit. Get him on the plane.
What the hell was that flight like? What was he doing that whole flight?
Like Con Air.
It had to be like Con Air. You have to Hannibal Lecter him down to the goddamn chair. I don't see how it. Now that's
he's Garland Green on the fucking plane.
He is. He's fucking crazy. This guy. I mean, and plus too, what if you're the other people on the plane?
Oh my God!
Imagine you're sitting there in your seat. You know, you sit there and you watch people come on as they're coming on. Imagine you see a guy come on, leave, and then get dragged back in, screaming in a foreign accent that there's demons on the plane, and they're pulling him onto the plane.
And imagine you
pushing him off.
Imagine you were booked for somewhere else, and then you changed your flight to that one,
like,
and you paid $200 extra to be on that
and they
fucking
listen
plane.
to this fucking guy. But how fucking scared would you be? Like, are they pulling him onto the plane? What are we? No, off the plane. This guy's screaming about demons. What the fuck is going on
This is the
here?
punishment plane? I'm on this plane. What did I do?
Yeah, what is this? Do I get the Hannibal Lecter mask?
You almost said Hannibal Molester.
I almost said Hannibal Molester. I'm so used to this fucking show.
That's hot.
Good God.
That's hysterical.
Molesters and everything. By the way, we have an amazing molester coming up for you next week. It's wild and disgusting and
I like the grotesque because it's
grotesque.
It's so much easier to digest when we can make fun of them.
Well, it's easier when you understand what's going on. Like this guy, you don't even understand what the hell his problem is. Yeah. You're like, are you just crazy? And I think he's just crazy because the crazy runs in the family, as we'll get into. Now, they had a meeting with HBO around this time because he's the champ. And HBO wants him to fight on HBO. They want to fight on HBO. That's, big boxing channel here, especially in the late 90s. HBO was cooking with their boxing. They had great fights.
They had Mills Lane announcing. They had the whole damn thing.
They were doing great. So they have a dinner meeting in New York City. This is with HBO executives and the boxing promoter that's working with Ike right now. And he is as silver-haired and middle-aged as you get. Cedric Kushner. Okay. He is the most enabling asshole of the group. Well, maybe not. There's one more guy who's worse that we'll get into, and he's still around. So it's interesting. They're trying to get a deal done to fight on HBO with the belt. They're out to dinner. Now, this is also, we're talking network executives and a major fight promoter and the world heavyweight champion. So they're not at TGI Fridays.
No.
They're not. They're at a fancy New York City restaurant, and interesting shit happens. Ike loses his fucking mind.
Really?
Ike loses.
Like Nobu or some shit?
Something like that. He loses his fucking mind. Basically, Kushner ends up saying how they were having a nice meal, a fine meal, as he put it, at a nice restaurant in the middle of the course. Okay, this isn't like after the check came and he got angry or he didn't want to be there to begin with. He was fine through halfway through it. Midway through it, he picks up a huge carving knife. Now they're at dinner to get this guy a deal to work with a television network. Yeah. This is not a job interview at 7-Eleven. This is a completely different deal. Yeah. He picks up a giant carving knife, slams it onto the table, and screams in the middle of a fucking restaurant, a fancy restaurant. Yeah. Quote, "They knew it. The belts belong to me. Why don't they just give them back?"
Who?
What the fuck does that mean?
In the middle of it.
In the middle of that.
He's thinking people robbed him.
Yeah.
And he grabs a carving knife.
And slams it down and screams at the top of his lungs. And the HBO people are like, is he...
What does he mean?
Is this just like personality?
Right.
Or no. And then I think they looked at Kushner, and Kushner was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. They're like, oh no, this is game time. This is real. This is go right now. This is shitty. Unbelievable. So imagine this guy, Kushner, too. You take this guy out and you're trying to hook up this deal and you're going to get a cut out of it, and this is for a ton of money for this guy, and he's acting like a fucking lunatic. He said about it, Kushner said about it, quote, "It was a peculiar experience."
I would say
shit.
So.
I would say so. That's an understatement of the year. He said, "That wasn't the type of conduct I expected that was going to romance the guy from HBO.
No.
Ike was like a Viking." Which is
like a Viking.
Like a Viking.
He has a sword in his hand, like a Viking.
Slams it down, screams. That is how a Viking would. Like, as you said, how would a Viking act if you brought him to a fancy New York City restaurant? Just like that. Screaming. They took it from me. Except he'd be talking about fish or something, a ship. I don't know what.
Some town and village that he pillaged and stole everything and raped all the women.
Oh, lots of rape.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Vikings, that's all they did.
Just raping, man.
Terrible.
So, August 1997.
Matter of fact, the actual Minnesota Vikings did some of that too.
Absolutely. I think we'll probably cover some of them, as a matter of fact. We'll get it. He was not a Minnesota Viking, but he's a worse Viking.
Yeah.
August 1997, the crazy train is really, it's getting cooking now. They're just shoveling coal in that bad boy like nobody's business.
Ozzy's song is blaring over the loudspeaker.
Jesus Christ. Wow. And Ike's hanging off the top of it like a fucking Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon.
He's on the front like Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic.
I'm king of the world.
I'm
Actually, I'm
president.
President of the world.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that came to both of us at the exact same time.
With the cloud steam coming out of the front of the engine.
Oh, my God. Except with some fucking middle-aged white guy going, will somebody get him the fuck off of there? Come on,
somebody
seriously.
Get him done. I've got an insurance policy
Christ
on him.
almighty. No, don't let a girl go up there with him. He's going to throw her off the fucking side. He had a knife 2 seconds ago.
Send his mom up there with him.
Oh, yeah, maybe she'll fall off and it'll save us all a lot of trouble. So Ike and
that was a good one.
That was good.
Fun. That was fun imagery.
It was just him up there, just celebrating at the front of a train too, which made it even funnier.
Like his belt from hand to hand.
Yeah. I pictured too, not like an Amtrak, like a train. Like I pictured like a 1935 locomotive, coming
like the one in Back to the
coming
Future.
Out the top. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Back to the Future 3, exactly. So Ike in 1997. He's fighting with his girlfriend because why not? He's fucking crazy.
May as well.
He's fighting with his girlfriend. What kind of a woman is with this guy?
For real.
Well, he says he sees demons, but I don't know. He treats me nice. It's like,
and he seems to have some nice paychecks coming in. He seems to be
nice and well for him, so I like watching him on TV.
He brings me home nice leftovers when he can't finish them at nice restaurants.
Because he had to leave early.
Yeah.
That's what Kushner probably said. It started going on, and he's like, "Can you box this?
Yeah.
Can
you get the fucking knives off the table, please?
Just box this up. We're gonna take the.
We're gonna go
check. He's just making the check motion.
Yeah.
We're gonna take
not
the
even
check
saying
now.
it out loud. Just fucking motion.
Motion it with his hand. Yeah. Now.
Right.
I'm sure they were running over there with the check with this.
You
guy.
don't even have to say it, sir. We got this one.
We got it.
We know.
August 97, he's fighting with his girlfriend. Like I said, he's unstable, obviously, Jesus Christ, and enraged by a new WBC ranking that came out.
Oh, God.
The World Boxing Council ranking that came out that he didn't like where it put him, apparently. So he feels he's slighted, and he is fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, livid, right?
Ike, you're in it. Who cares?
Oh, he's livid, though. But anything sets him off.
Yeah, but put this podcast on any list anywhere, and I'll jerk off on it. I will love it.
Well, you'll jerk off on anything, so that's really
I'll jerk off to it.
It's a low bar. That's a low bar. Yeah, you said on it, though. I'm going to hold you to that.
I jerk off on the lists anyway now.
There you go. Yeah, because we're not on it.
Right.
So jerk off all over him, Jimmie. You put us on your list, or Jimmie's going to jerk off on it. How's that? You sons of bitches. Oh, man. So he's fighting with his girlfriend, who probably isn't the smartest woman alive if she's with him to begin with.
Yeah, she's got some problems, too, I imagine.
Probably. She's got a 15-year-old son.
Okay.
That's at the house here.
It is not his.
It's not his. No, definitely not his. He kidnaps the 15-year-old son. This is what he does. He loses his mind. He's in a rage. He grabs the 15-year-old, throws him in the car, and drives off.
Oh, my God.
Driving erratically like a crazy person, okay? He's fucking losing his mind. Basically just driving all over Texas with this teenager in the car.
Oh, God.
She's called the cops on him already because he just kidnapped her son. Mm-hmm. He just, in a rage, was like, I'm not on the rankings and fuck you, and I'm taking this kid and I'm getting in the car. Like, what the hell is
this will get me on the rankings.
Yeah, and he slammed a knife down on the table.
It's going to get you on a ranking, all right. It's going to get you on top 10 America's Most Wanted.
Exactly. That's pretty much, yeah. So he's driving all erratically. He ends up driving 70 miles an hour, and on purpose at 70 miles an hour, ramming his car into a concrete pillar.
Holy shit.
With a 15-year-old child in the car. Okay? This is not great.
No.
This is bad. Ike, because he's a fucking crazy person, and the crazy and the drunk never get hurt in car accidents for some reason. He's fine. He has some scrapes and shit like that. I don't know how you're fine hitting a concrete pillar after that, but the boy is not fine at all. He ends up being arrested, obviously, right then.
Yeah.
He's charged with kidnapping and attempted murder.
Good.
Obviously, because he's a fucking moron.
Those charges add up to what I just heard.
Jesus. So the court eventually finds, but you would think like this is going to be a major deal, right?
It should be.
It should be. It's not. Court eventually finds that Ike was not trying to murder anyone.
Who?
He was instead trying to commit suicide.
Oh, God.
Because that's what he said he was doing. He said he then says that there were demons chasing him. He said there was demons chasing the car, and he was pissed about the rankings thing. He's like, well, there's the rankings and the demons. They're both. It's kind of a 50-50. But when you add them together, fucking ranking demons are a bitch, and I needed to get away. And he was trying.
He's in Terminator 2, and he's got to save the kid. The demons are after him.
Fucking running into the pole. So he runs us into the pole to try to kill himself to get away from the demons.
Oh, boy.
Basically. So this is what we're at right now. This is a heavyweight contender. You'd think, okay, this guy's never fighting again,
Never.
right? I mean,
he better not.
Not only is he committing criminal acts, but he's not mentally stable enough to fight. Let's see if he fights again. What do you think?
Depends on how bad somebody needs a paycheck that's not him that needs that can promote the show.
Silver-haired, middle-aged white man needs.
You bet.
He is allowed to plead guilty to false imprisonment. That's it. No kidnapping, no attempted murder. That's all, because they said he was trying to commit suicide.
Which is illegal.
God, no. Yeah, still. And especially on the road.
Right.
If you're going to commit suicide, do it in your fucking house.
Right.
Don't go out on the road.
In your own bathtub.
Smash into something and so have some guy have to clean that shit up.
How bad's the kid?
Well, we'll get into that here. He's allowed to plead guilty to false imprisonment. He is sentenced to 120 days in jail.
And
that's what he gets for
119
this.
are postponed.
That's it.
He actually does it. He does 4 months, and that's it.
That's it.
And then it's over.
That's it for him.
And then we never talk about it again, and insurance covers the car.
Pretty much.
What the fuck?
The district attorney there in Vegas, John Bradley, said, quote, "It was a very frustrating case because what he did wasn't as clearly criminal as what I expected him to get involved with down the line. I fully expected that his contact with the criminal justice system had not ended with our county. We weren't able to get him examined, but it sure seemed to me, even if he was a heavyweight boxer looking to make millions of dollars, that he should have been committed to a psychiatric community and treated. No fucking shit.
Somebody's thinking straight there.
Yeah,
there's
that's
somebody
the
that's
district
not
attorney.
crazy. Yeah.
He's like, I'm not making any money off this guy. Right. I just don't want crazy people running around slamming into pillars.
He heard the guy say, "I was running from the demons. I tried to kill myself." He goes, "That guy's criminal career is not over."
No. Well, because I guess it was known around town how crazy he was acting too. I mean, this shit gets around. Yeah. Vegas is kind of it's a big city but a small town. Vegas. Right. All the big wigs, all the people involved in this shit all know each other.
Right.
So it's one of those things. He is a disaster. This guy, a complete fucking disaster with this. They expect worse things from him. That's what you want to hear from the DA. Yeah. Well, I expect worse. So this is actually better than I expected.
Worse coming.
The 15-year-old, according to court documents, suffered numerous injuries and will, quote, never be able to walk normally again.
Fuck.
And suffers seizures to this day.
Oh, my God. So he had head trauma?
Head trauma and mangled his legs.
His legs or his back something?
This kid he's really messed up. Ike ends up being sued in civil court, obviously, for this, and ends up paying $500,000 in a civil settlement to the boy and his ex-girlfriend. Which does nothing when he's still having seizures 20 years later and he can't walk right. That money's gone, long gone, and for nothing. So,
God, that makes me want to cry, man. That's fucked up.
It's messed up. And now let's get into, so we've had a couple silver-haired middle-aged white men, DeBello, Kushner, we've had those guys. We have a couple more. This is loaded with them. Jesus. Steve Monasteri. This fucking asshole is the worst of the bunch. This is the ultimate silver-haired middle-aged white man. He makes all kinds of excuses for Ike. He says in everything he does later on, he's like, well, none of the women were hurt. So it's like he does everything. He makes excuses for him. He made excuses for the car accident, saying, well, hey, sorry. Ike's kind of...
What a slime ball.
He was a little depressed and he wanted to kill himself and, we should get him right back in the ring. Literally, that's his thing. Well, let's get him back in the ring. Let's get him back in the ring. He's trying to get him back in the ring. That's all he cares about.
When he's in the ring, in his defense, nothing bad happens.
Nothing bad happens. No, he's fine in the ring.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's weird, too, because there was another fight around this time where a guy had been in rehab and was not mentally stable and went literally right out of rehab and less than a week later had a fight. And he quit the fight in the middle of it and was crying in the corner and shit. Do you remember this fight?
No.
It happened in like the early 2000s, late 90s. He literally quit and was crying in the corner. He couldn't, he lost it. He wasn't mentally stable. They pulled him literally out of a mental institution and stuffed him right in the ring. It was like, you're fine. Go get hit in the head for a while. That'll stable you right up.
Holy shit.
Because these people are fucking disgusting. So, he tried to blame hurting the kid on depression. He goes, well, Ike was depressed. I mean, it's, he's fine now, and we'll get him back in the ring, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, but what about the kid, you slimy fuck?
Yep, Steve Monasteri. We'll get into him later, because he's playing a large role in America right now, this piece of garbage.
Is he really?
Yeah, I'll tell you where.
Okay.
I'll tell you where, but it's very telling, we'll say. Now, February 1998, because of all this craziness, he hasn't been able to defend the title.
Yeah.
They fought in June.
And by the way, if you're listening, don't fucking Google that right now. Put your phone down.
Yeah, put your phone
Just
down.
listen.
We'll tell you. It'll be good later.
It's fine.
It'll be
Just
a fun
listen.
surprise. So he is forced to vacate the WBC title because he hasn't been able to make any defenses. He's been hurt, and he's been in jail. He's had court cases. He's had all this shit going on. He had to serve 4 months. He hasn't been able to defend. They strip him of the title in February of 98.
Good.
So also 98, what do you do at that point?
You get married.
You better know. He doesn't get married, luckily for everyone. Normally he would. Less commitment. He just sexually assaults a woman instead.
Oh, my God.
1998, he's convicted of sexual assault in Arizona.
Awesome.
Now, he actually ends up having 2 different sexual assault cases in Arizona. For some reason, they are not findable for me. I looked.
Really?
Hours and hours to figure out the details.
Somehow he made him disappear. I got a feeling Monastery fucking had a hand in that.
Yeah, probably. All I can find is that was convicted of the sexual assault, and he was put on in Arizona. He was put on state lifetime probation.
Awesome.
So he is when he is in the state of Arizona, he is on lifetime probation. This guy. So that's
if you fly into Sky Harbor, you check your PO.
You're automatically
you've got an officer somewhere. Just call him.
We're worried about it. So let's see here. They have him. So he is beyond fighting now, right? Yeah. He's out of his fucking mind. He's crazy. He's got kids hurt. He's sexually assaulting people.
He has no title.
He's a mess. No title. He's not. He's done, right? You think?
Should be.
July 9th, 1998. Guess what he does? He has a fight.
Where?
In Marksville, Louisiana.
Perfect.
He fights Tim Ray.
Yeah.
This is a tomato can just to get him back in shape. He fights Tim Ray. It's an 8-rounder. He wins a first-round TKO.
Goodness gracious.
2 minutes and 23 seconds. Just goes in there probably filled with rage from the last year and everything else.
Thinking about how if he ever goes back to Arizona, he's on parole.
He's on probation forever. He doesn't want to go back. He's angry. This brings him to 18-0. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's still fighting. September 4th, 1998. This is a couple months later. Right back in the ring. Like it never fucking happened. Like it never fucking happened. This is what I mean about these fucking people. This is what I mean about the silver-haired middle-aged white man and why we started noticing this shit. Yeah. Because that's who you can blame.
Yeah.
Blame him for this shit. Blame these people who are forcing this fucking idiot in the ring.
He's in his prime. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have time for help because he's in his prime, and that shit goes away in a minute.
Exactly.
Once he's out of it, then we'll get him his help.
When he's about 34, then we'll let him be crazy. But for now, let's pretend he's fine.
He's 28. We got fighting to do.
Yeah, he's got belts to win.
Jesus.
This fight's in Atlantic City, New Jersey, at the Etes Arena. It's versus Everton Davis of Jamaica. It's another non-linker tomato can fight. It's a 10-rounder. It goes 9 out of the 10. Ike ends up winning in a TKO.
Sorry.
Bringing him to 19-0.
I'm laughing because every time I hear the word Jamaica, it's just I know it's a beautiful country, and people go there on vacation and have such a great time. But it's so fucking cartoony to me. Every time I see Sean Paul going, give it to him.
I was going to say, Cool Runnings really fucked it up for all. I mean, that's sorry, guys.
Jamaica is just such a joke to me.
It's so funny because there's like a ton of violent crime down there and tons of murder. Yeah. And I'm just like, no. But that guy in Cool Runnings seemed very friendly.
Sanka was so nice.
They took John Candy in like he was one of their own. Like he was a member of the team. Like he was from the neighborhood, you know? The fuck, man? Those are nice guys.
We are the bobsled team.
They got a fat white guy, and they're like, we listen to the fat white guy. It's okay, man.
He seemed fast.
He seemed fast. I give you AIDS.
I see pride. I see power. I see a bad man who don't... Jeez.
That's so funny.
What a stupid movie.
It is a stupid movie.
Now, sorry, so this guy's from Jamaica.
Please. He's from Jamaica. He beats the shit out of him, like I said, and wins by TKO in round 9, which is longer than it should take to beat Everton Davis of Jamaica.
Anybody from Jamaica.
Might have had a hard head. We don't know. It's a TKO. The fight stopped.
Had to get through the dreads.
Had to get, exactly. A little extra padding. Brings him to 19-0.
All right.
Now, Jesus, this is still a mess. You would at least think that they're not going to bring him into any prominent fights where he could have a public meltdown or anything. Nope, not quite. He signs to fight a scheduled fight against a fighter named Chris Bird on March 20th, 1999. Chris Bird was a slick fighter. He was a lefty, real quick. He was an undersized heavyweight. He was probably 210, 205 pounds. Quick, slick lefty. Real nasty. BYRD, Chris Bird. He ended up being heavyweight champ. He fought Vladimir Klitschko. He fought a bunch of really big fights. But I used to watch him on HBO. All of his fights used to be on HBO in the late 90s. He was one of my favorite guys to watch. Just because he was so slick and quick and lefty and just made people look stupid because of the way he fought. I enjoyed it. Now, Ike in this fight is set to make $300,000. So He wants to do this fight.
Get a little payday.
He's got to get a little payday. And also the other guys are like, we're going to get our little payday back here. So early 1999, Ike and his mother moved from Texas to Phoenix because another rule where don't you go?
Back
Texas
to the scene of the crime.
Florida or Arizona. Stay away from those two places. And you're on lifetime fucking probation.
Why would you want to be there?
I don't know, but he moves to Phoenix, Arizona. Like, no Florida, no Arizona. Don't get married. Name your son Junior. Don't find religion, which, by the way, this whole time, he is on television preaching.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
He's on the religious channels preaching. Oh, look, they found me in the, fucking wilds of whatever and made me a Christian and made me fine. And he's out there preaching his ass off. So he's already found religion, even though he has demons following him.
I'm a Christian. There's demons following me. And I almost killed a kid.
I almost killed a kid. It was close. Yeah. It was close. He's going to be shaken the rest of his life. And he's limping pretty good, but that's okay. Unreal, man. So what the fuck? So anyway, February of 1999, Patricia and Ike are living in Phoenix, and Kushner here, the Kushner, the promoter, he receives a call from Patricia.
Yes.
In February, and this is one of the crazier things I've ever heard in my life. This Kushner guy, now imagine he's at home and he gets a phone call and he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because he knows if he sees their number pop up, it's fucking trouble.
He's making a ham sandwich, watching the midday news.
They're not just calling him up to go, hey, how's the kids? How's the kids doing?
What's your favorite ham?
No. She tells him that demons are trying to poison both her and Ike through the air conditioning.
Oh, Jesus.
Now they're to the point where they're like literally holed up together going, yep, there's demons, there's poison. There's poison coming in. It's got to be the demons because if someone poisons you, the first thing you think is demons. Obviously.
Absolutely.
That's what I would think. I mean,
I have a feeling they felt cold air and were like, that's demon air.
That's demon air right there. I don't like that.
You need that in the desert to survive. Yeah. That's not demon air.
No.
That's God air,
that's
matter of fact.
God air, damn it. You need that shit.
Yeah.
Now, rather than Kushner at this point going, we got a problem, they're crazy, let's try to do what we need to do. There's a fight in a month that he's making money off of, so instead he just tells her, turn off the air conditioning now.
Oh, God.
Don't
tell her that.
Doesn't even try to tell her that there's not demons or maybe you guys need to see some help or do you guys need medication. He just says, well, turn off the air conditioning then. That'll fucking get him to next month so he can go punch someone and make me money. What the Oh,
it's
my God.
120 degrees in Phoenix.
Jesus.
You're going to tell them to shut off the AC?
Well, it's February.
Right.
But still, that's not the solution to crazy. Shut off the air conditioning.
No.
Then what happens the next time the demons are coming from somewhere else? What are you going to tell her?
We just got to get you to march. Don't worry about it.
Jesus.
Shut it off.
The lights have demons in them. Just sit in the dark. It's fun. Like, what are we doing?
All the soap has demons in it. Just stay dirty.
It's said at this point that Ike quit his antidepressants suddenly.
Yep.
So that's not great.
That's
right
obvious
now.
already.
That also leads to violence, which is not great. Now we have an in their own words, and this is going to be, germane in a moment here. We have an in their own words on how Ike feels about women. And let's just say he's not much of a feminist, I don't think. Not much. He's a little skewed here. Yeah. In their own words on women, quote, I feel women should bow to me.
Okay.
I have a great ego in going after women. I'm not a person to rape a woman because I'm of the belief that she should want to have sex with me. If she doesn't want to be with me, I don't want to have sex with her. I think the I-5 killer said something very fucking similar.
Somebody else said it too, and then was elected president of the United States.
Too, that's the other thing.
That's fucking almost identical. Dude, that's beautiful.
I feel women should bow to me. Is like next fucking level. Well, he is the president of the world, so everyone should bow to him, men and women.
Yeah.
He wants them to be filleting him as they're down there, whereas the men.
That's incredible.
Whoa, I'm not a person to rape a woman.
No.
Because I am of the belief she should want to be with me. Like all the women should want to be with me.
I have a great ego about me.
Wow. Unreal. So now we're getting up to the fight. We're getting up to fight time.
Yeah.
It's the first week of March, so it's coming up quick here. He's sparring with his sparring partner, Ezra Sellers. Ezra Sellers is a journeyman cruiserweight fighter, a little under heavyweight. He fights just like Chris Bird. He's a lefty who's real slick and quick and undersized.
Gotcha.
So he's a perfect sparring partner for Chris Bird in this. And he's frustrating the shit out of Ike.
All right.
Right-handed fighters are very frustrated by lefties. It's just not this. Everything's backwards. Right. It's not the same setup. And if they're smaller than you and super quick like Bird is and slick and has a nice jab, it's really frustrating every time you come in.
Slip a punch and then jab you.
Well, you come in and there's a jab where you didn't expect a jab. Right. So even if a guy has a really quick jab too, you're in deep shit because you didn't see that coming. And
that arm's raised and you're out of position to block it.
So it's exactly that. So while sparring, Sellers said that Ike got got frustrated with him because for what was going on. Ike ends up getting a small cut over his left eye, which happens in boxing, but 3 weeks before a fight, that's bad news because if the guy's got a cut, they're not going to fight.
Right.
Because it's, whatever.
It's not going to heal and close fast enough for him to be able to fight in a month or in 3 weeks.
It takes 4 stitches, this fight.
Shit.
That's a little cut over his eye. Sellers saw it, and he stepped back and he said, whoa, you're cut, man. Oh, hold on. And so the trainers came in, and they had to patch it up real quick. And so that training was over that day. Yeah. He's cut. So Sellers starts, they take his gloves off. They start cutting the tape off his hands. It's over with. He's just, shit, all right, I'm going home now. And Sellers has a fight coming up March 12th also. So he's got a fight coming up in less than 2 weeks that he's kind of training for also. At this point, he gets the tape cut off Sellers and all that, and he goes to put his wedding ring back on. He had it in his gym bag, so he takes it like anybody would. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't fight with your ring on. Obviously, you break your hand, they're going to have to cut it off. So, he got everything off his hands. He goes and gets his ring, and he had it in his hand. He just picked it up out of his gym bag and went over to Ike and apologized. He's like, oh, man, I'm really sorry. I cut you like that. I didn't mean to. And Ike saw the ring in his hand and freaked out and accused Sellers of having it on while they were fighting and said that he intentionally cut him. So Sellers... Shit. He's like, what are you talking? Sellers is like, no, man, I don't know what you're talking about. In the middle of him saying, I don't know what you're talking about, Ike kicks him in the knee. Kicks him in the right knee, which is fucking nuts. Yeah. Yeah, he's going down.
That's not even boxing moves at this point.
He takes his fucking knee out like a lunatic. Yeah. So Sellers says, quote, as I was falling, I grabbed him and he wound up on top of me, straddling me, and he was punching my head and then he was choking me. Finally, they pulled him off of me, and I said, hey, your own trainer wrapped my hand, and that sent him off after Wilson.
Oh, God.
So he basically said, what the fuck are you doing? You're a fucking guy who wrapped my hand. So obviously it wasn't on there, and he goes, oh, really? And he went over and started beating the shit out of his trainer. Which is nuts. So now he's just an animal running around like a bull, like the guy said before, in a shitty gym in Arizona somewhere, beating people up. So Sellers can't walk. No, he literally drags himself outside and gets a cab. Wow. So he can go to the hospital. Yeah. First he's filing a police report too, but he has to. He has to go to the hospital first because he can't walk. Right. So he takes a cab to the hospital. Now, keep in mind, he's got a fight in 2 weeks. He's a journeyman guy. He needs the money for this fight. He ends up he has torn knee ligaments, and he can't fight. Oh, shit. So this guy's ruined his opportunity to fight, taking money and food out of his mouth.
And now he has to have a surgery.
Yeah, now he's taking food off of his table, and now he's doing this. He ends up filing charges against Ike, luckily, for assault, and so does the trainer Wilson. He does too, because who knows what the fuck he did to that poor guy. He's not even a fighter, for Christ's sake. He's just a trainer that wrapped the guy's hands.
Unbelievable.
First of all, too, I don't think a wedding band under wraps and a glove would cause a cut. No. Anyway, first of all, it's not like he had a giant pinky ring on or anything. But he just lost his mind.
It's not a Super Bowl ring.
No.
It's a wedding band.
He was pissed. He didn't like the way sparring was going. He didn't like that the guy cut him. Whether it was, it's obviously an accident. He can't cut somebody on purpose. And so he just wanted to lash out. Because, I don't know, he's fucking crazy. Good Lord.
Here's the other thing, too. Was the cut over his left eye or his right? I want it to be over his left, and Sellers caught him with a right. Because then you've got no argument for the fucking ring at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit. No, it was a left hand. It was over his right eye, I know. So, he hit him with the left hand with the ring. That's very clever, though. Now, March 20th, 1999, we actually get to a fight. This lunatic is fighting. This with Sellers, this was in the New York Times.
Really?
This was
Everybody knew
story.
about it.
It was Ibeabuchi gives boxing a black eye, and it's a story about what a fucking maniac he is.
Black eye? What a stupid fucking title. How about assaults another fighter?
You know how I am about these punny fucking wordplay titles. If a journalist, get your shit together and stop doing that shit.
And also,
you're not the first person that came up with that idea for the article.
By 99, there were thousands of articles of somebody gave something a black eye.
And if you think you're that clever, just know that somewhere the Sheboygan Times or whatever, they came up with the same title. Some guy,
Do what James does with a joke and take your first fucking idea, throw the shit away.
Throw it away.
Take 3 more, throw that shit away. And then maybe your 4th or 5th, take that idea. Stop being a dick.
That's yours. The other ones are obvious, and everyone else
Those
would
are
have said the
somebody
same thing.
else's shit.
Surprise people, you assholes. Jesus Christ. So March 20th, 1999, the Emerald Queen Casino. It's in Tacoma, Washington.
All right.
With the word emerald in there, you know it's going to be Tacoma, Washington. You know what state that's in. He comes in at 19-0, Ike. Yeah. He's facing Chris Bird, who I already told you about. Chris Bird's a guy who comes into the fight 26-0. Wow. So he's a no joke son of a bitch. And it's like Tua was 27-0. Bird would end up 41-5-1 in his career. Wow. The only losses he had were to some big heavy hitting son, Vladimir Klitschko.
48-5-1?
41-5-1.
41-5-1.
And he was a champ for a while and everything. He was really, really a good fighter.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, it's a 10-round fight, this fight, because it's not for the belt, remember. It is an even fight until the 5th round, when Ike unloads on him with a left-right combo.
Really?
I mean, he had knocked Bird down once in the fight so far, and he absolutely obliterates him. I mean, these punches, you go, oh, wow. Yeah. One of those where it's like, Jesus, that'll cause brain damage right there. Bird goes down flat on his face.
Really?
So that tells you right there.
It was over.
Boxers know how to fall and everything. If you go down on your face, you were just out.
Yeah.
He actually pops up, though, and the ref stops the fight. It's a TKO. If you fall down and smack your face, the ref is not going to count you back in. You're out at that point. You were unconscious a second ago. And Bird, I mean, he just went boom like a tree and fell down flat. It's 2 minutes and 59 seconds in the 5th round, too, right at the end of the round. He called the fight. So
Son
Bird
of a bitch.
couldn't make it another 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If he went another 10 seconds without getting that combo landed on him, he would have been fine. This brings Ike to 20-0.
Unbelievable.
20-0. So they're looking at him like he's a title contender.
Yeah.
He's crazy as shit. He's getting arrested all over the place.
Yeah.
He's a menace to society. But
he's on lifetime probation.
He's on lifetime probation. He's on the religious channel preaching, and he's going to be heavyweight champ. It's insane. So June 1999, this is a couple months later, Ike is at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. The flight is overbooked and he's not allowed to board.
Airport.
Yeah,
that is the worst airport.
Well, let me take a train 17 miles to Terminal B. Go fuck yourself. Put it all in one building.
And I defy you to fly through DFW and not have a layover and not have it delayed after your layover.
I have done that flight where I ran and got on trolleys and I'm like, where are we going? Right. Is the connecting flight in Houston? What the fuck is going on?
And then you get to where you need to be and you sit in a chair for 2.5 fucking hours after I just ran my ass off.
Worst airport. Anyway, the flight is overbooked and he can't board. You think he's going to take that well?
Of course it is. It's DFW.
What do you think he said? Do you think he went, oh, that's fine. Maybe if you could possibly get me like a meal coupon so I could just have some time.
He said, well, then get all the demons off the plane and I'll get on.
He said, this is not how you treat the president.
Yes.
You do not treat the president like this. He fucking loses his mind. He didn't say this is not how you treat the president. Right. I said this is not how you treat the president.
I wish he did.
He may have said that, but
I bet he did.
To me, that's what I want him to say.
How many people are on Air Force One? We're not supposed to allow this many on there. What do you mean it's overbooked?
Who are these people?
It's my plane.
It's my plane. Get him off. Is that the Secretary of Defense? I want to talk to him. The bone to pick with that guy. So Ike loses it. He rampages through the terminal. Yeah. Again, pre 9/11. Yeah. This guy, a foreigner with an accent, ranting and raving through an airport terminal will get you shot in 5 seconds nowadays, or at least taken down hard.
Yeah. At minimum tased.
At minimum tased. God, with gusto. Yeah. With like 3 of them will come at you at once. Yeah, they will be lying. They'll be fighting each other to tase you.
It'd be crazy.
He is eventually surrounded by police, obviously, because it's a fucking airport. There's nowhere to go, and they kind of know where he is.
Right.
He's surrounded by police. They surround him. They threaten to pepper spray him, and he says, "You better shoot me." So now you have a very large, very angry, clearly insane man saying, "You better shoot me."
That's not afraid of pepper spray.
He's not afraid of pepper spray. And plus, at this point, he's in great shape. He's jacked. He's enormous, and he's fucking dangerous. And he's screaming in a foreign accent. It's insane, right? So
you better shoot me.
Yeah, exactly. I give you AIDS. So they threaten to pepper spray him. He says, you better shoot me. So the police pepper spray him and then cuff him. They were like, okay, fine. Shh, there you go. And then they cuff him up and they take him away without incident because, he's crazy, but his eyes are still eyes and his respiratory system's still a respiratory system.
Still has a mucus membrane.
The demons didn't keep that down. So, holy shit. So, July 22nd, 1999. Ike is staying at the Mirage Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in Vegas because he's trying to still get fights going.
Yeah.
Okay, still. He calls for an escort.
Oh, God.
He likes the escorts, boy. Let me tell you something. And we'll get into a quote on how he likes the escorts. He calls for an escort. She says that she was only there to strip.
Yeah.
He asked her that was her deal.
Okay.
That's what she does. She goes in and strips and leaves.
Sure she does.
He wants sex.
Of course he does.
She doesn't want to have sex. She wants to just
because
strip
he's
and
enormous
get money. And crazy as fuck. That's the other thing. There's a fight. He does not want to pay. She said that he attacked her in a walk-in closet after she refused sex. She tried to run into a closet, and he came in there and took her pants off and was trying to sexually assault her. Yeah. This is from the DA. Whenever you have a DA's quote on anything, it had a bad ending. Yeah. DA Christopher Lawley says, quote, He invites her up to his room and begins to get physical with her. It got loud enough that people in the adjoining room notified security.
Fuck.
So an adjoining room in Vegas where people go crazy all the time, that's loud.
Not just Vegas, because, I mean, there are shit places around there that you can hear through the wall. The Mirage.
That's a nice place.
It's insulated.
Yes, it is. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they don't want to hear people screaming their coke fucking in there all the time. They don't want that. So the quote finishes here. Adjoining room, they notified security. When they enter the room, a woman naked from the waist down is running toward them. That's a bad sign if you're a cop going in a room. Hey, some shit's going on here. It turns out he didn't even want to pay for the stripping. Yeah. He was like, well, if you're not going to fuck me, I'm not paying you for stripping, which is nuts. Yeah. Anyway, he ends up refusing to come out of the room. They burst in and he locks himself in the bathroom and won't come out, Stanley Wilson style.
Oh, God.
So they can't get him out. And you don't want to burst in there as this giant guy ready to drop bombs on you. You don't know what
in a closed space. I don't want to tussle with that guy in there.
But you can put tear gas under the bathroom door.
Yes, he is definitely susceptible to that shit.
And apparently he is. So you have to gas Ike. That's the only way to get him to calm down, apparently. So they get him. They take him into custody, the whole deal. He's arrested for a litiny of charges we'll get into in a moment. We have to get into, in their own words, on prostitutes. In their own words, quote, I have had sex with escorts many times. It's no strings attached. I paid with checks and credit cards. It was a guilty pleasure. When we have secrets, God has a way of telling you, I saw what you did. I thought I could get away with it, but God had to make my little secret public. No, you did by assaulting a prostitute. That's why it was public. It would have never been public.
Nobody would have known shit.
Or cared, for that matter. Go crazy.
Had you not make her hide in a fucking closet.
Unless except that you tried to rape her and made the police take you out with tear gas like a fucking, like a terrorist lunatic. So, Ike is held for months on a multiple $million bail. He can't make bail.
Really?
After 3 months, bail is reduced to $750,000, and he gets that and bonds out. Okay, so he's on house arrest. He is only allowed to train, and it's specifically in the documents he's not allowed to call prostitutes.
Oh.
He's not allowed to call out for pussy anymore.
I think that's illegal anyway.
In Vegas, the escort thing. So they were like, you're not allowed to call out for escorts. They didn't say prostitutes, it's escorts. You're not allowed to call any strange women and pay them to hang out with you, basically. That's not allowed anymore. You're banned from lifetime probation in Arizona and no prostitutes in Las Vegas. Whole state.
That's crazy.
So
I don't have any of those stipulations on my travel anywhere.
Anywhere I want. No,
I can do whatever I want.
Coming out of anywhere I want. Out of the woodwork.
As long as it's not illegal, I can hire it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. So, I mean, Jesus Christ. His mother's crazy.
Yeah.
He's crazy. Comes over. All these silver-haired middle-aged white men. He's crippled a 15-year-old. Put him in
for life.
Crippled or damaged his walking, whatever. He's the kid's having seizures.
Yeah.
He's sexually assaulted like 3 women now. One he tried to hurt in a hotel room to the point of being in there. His mother's crazy. All these people are losing money on him. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy.
No fucking way.
Bet your fucking ass, Jimmy. What do you take me for?
Get the
I don't think I found one, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Ike Kofi Ibeabuchi.
Get the
His middle
fuck
name is
outta
Kofi,
here.
but he's Ike Ibeabuchi. God damn it.
Unbelievable.
A contributor at Daily Trust in San Jose, California.
Really?
God damn it, I found him.
Ike, I'm coming to San Jose this weekend.
Yeah.
Come hang out with the San Jose Improv with me and Jesse Mayfalusa.
We owe you a drink after this fucking mess, I think. You poor bastard. Honestly, you deserve a drink after all you've been through.
I will call you president all weekend.
Right, you can be the president. So, wow, I was so happy to find that.
Wow.
You were like, no.
That's unbelievable.
No, I knew you were going to do that. That's why I found it, my friend.
I love it.
So after the arrest, we bring promoter Bob Arum into the picture, the aforementioned scumbag thief Bob Arum.
Yeah.
Bob Arum had pledged $175,000 to his defense fund.
What?
That's how much of a silver-haired middle-aged white man he is, because he sees it as an investment.
See, this right here is where laws should have been like, anybody in law anywhere should have been like, listen, they are making so much money that they're going to contribute to a defense fund for one of their fighters, because that's how much money that guy makes for them.
Yeah.
We need to pass laws that keep this shit from happening. That's what they should have done. That's what, in retrospect, but it should have happened for anybody that understands law right then.
No, they look at this as an investment. They're like, well, I got some money invested, and we'll see
crazy.
From a quote we have here from Bob Arum that is a scummy-ass quote. It's scummy because, A, he wanted to get this guy out of trouble for all the shit that he's done, and then, B, when it's not to his his exact needs. He just goes, fuck that guy anyway. Check this out. He pisses me off on 2 different fucking levels here. Aram's quote is, quote, "I'm having second thoughts about it." This is the $175,000. His attitude is sort of bizarre. He's fucking crazy, and you knew that.
There ain't anything new.
The kind of money he says he wants to fight is so far out of line that it's completely unrealistic. On top of that, he wants a bonus, and he didn't even seem to care about what may happen if he doesn't beat the criminal case. I'm not going to put good money after bad. I think I'll cut my losses. So it's like I'll be behind him and when it's to the detriment of society, and then when it's kind of an inconvenience to me also, then fuck him and I'll ditch him too. So now that's what I mean. He's being used and then thrown away, this guy.
I think Ridiculous. That somebody pointed out that Bob's a scumbag, and he was like, maybe I should cop a better story here.
He's been being called a scumbag for 40 fucking years. And if you actually talk to anyone in the boxing industry, they hate Bob Arum. They hate. I won't mention him, but there's a boxing trainer out here who trained a lot of big fighters and is a really good guy. And I talked to him once, and if you mention Bob Arum, you see his blood come to his eyes. He goes, "He's a fucking thief," but he says it in a Mexican accent. He hates him.
I love it.
Hates his guts, man. So he was. We have a quote from Larry Merchant, who's one of the boxing announcers from HBO, if you ever watch HBO boxing. He said about Ike, quote, "He was seriously damaged emotional goods even before he exploded. My belief when he got locked up was that boxing dodged another bullet."
Yeah.
He's like, this is good that he wasn't the face of boxing when this all happened. It is Ike, after the arrest, he's ruled mentally incompetent to stand trial.
Wow.
Finally, something fucking good happens. They send him to a state facility for the mentally ill.
It's about time.
Yeah, no shit. He needs to. He is kept there for 2 years. 2 years before he's finally found mentally competent to stand trial. They've diagnosed him bipolar. They got him on medication. He's still hearing demons and shit, but that's another story. They get him on that.
He's running around like Ace Ventura.
Yeah, that's literally what he's doing with a dress on, with his hair done. Now, unreal. Now, November 8th, 2001, he enters an Alford plea in Nevada. Now, if you don't know what an Alford plea is what the West Memphis 3 is what they did. It basically says, I'm not admitting guilt, but I realize that the evidence is enough to convict me, so I'm pleading guilty. But it's not an admission of guilt. That's a special plea that they make with people if they don't want to stick around with a trial. And he's so goddamn crazy. Who needs a fucking trial with him? So he does the Alford plea. He's sentenced to 2 to 10 years for battery because he's charged with battery and attempted sexual assault on this prostitute. He is an escort, whatever you want to call her. He is sentenced to 2 to 10 years for the first count of battery, 3 to 20 years for the attempted sexual assault, and they're to be served consecutively. So not at the same time. They're to be one after the other. Wow. So the judge banged him good, basically.
2 to 10, and then what was the second one?
3 to 20.
Oh, my God.
So he got 5 to 30 years, and it's consecutive. Shit. So this isn't great, because when you deal with the one, then you have to still deal with the other. It's not all lumped into one.
So you can get paroled for one.
As a matter of fact, in 2001, right after he's convicted, he's paroled for the first one. Like immediately. He's paroled for the first charge, the 2 to 10 years, but he still has to serve the 3 to 20. 3 to 20. 3 to 20 on the sexual assault. So he's in jail now for a little while. He's got a first parole hearing is set for 2004. So that would only be 5 years removed from boxing. So he's really shooting for that. And he says, in their own words about prison, his life after prison, when he gets out, he said, quote, "I'm more humiliated than concerned with spending time in prison. I have a moral standard. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I was the person preaching on TV and reciting passages from the Bible, but I was a hypocrite." No shit. No fucking shit. 2004, he has that parole hearing. As I said, he expects to get out. There's articles on him. He brings in a guy named Sig Rogich, who we're going to talk about here in a second.
Oh, boy.
He's super silver-haired, middle-aged. Whoa, boy. Sig Rogich he brings in to help him kind of transition from prison to get back into boxing. And also, too, I'll tell you about Sig, and you'll find out why he brought him in. We have another in their own words here on his time in prison. This is like he thinks he's getting out, basically. This is like basically like, well, I'll be out in a few months and fighting, so here's how I feel. This is from 2004.
Super high hopes.
He says, quote, in their own words, quote, "I'm grateful I've spent this time here. I'm ready to put the world on my shoulders. I appreciate the serenity, the calm I acquired in prison. If not for the stain on my name, there's nothing wrong with taking a 5-year break, especially when people in boxing didn't appreciate my efforts then. I'm like a new car that's been parked. I might not be the latest model, but my engine is still fully intact."
Oh, God.
So he's thinking, he's like, I'm ready to fucking rumble.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Let me out of here. Now, Sid Rogich is a Vegas ad executive. He's the guy who helped Mike Tyson get his Nevada boxing license back after he bit Holyfield's ear off.
Right.
This is as silver-haired and middle-aged as you get.
This man loves money and loves getting it at other people's expenses.
Yep, and he had also advised at this point in 2004, had advised the last 3 Republican presidential candidates on their campaigns.
Ugh.
So he's so connected.
Ugh.
I mean, so fucking connected.
Yeah.
He can get a license back for a crazy person who bites a guy's ear off.
Right.
And he's into presidential politics. That's pretty big. He's going to be Ike's manager, this guy.
What?
So that's pretty silver goddamn haired, middle-aged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rumors are that he's going to help Ike get parole. That's everyone says.
He's essentially personifying everything scummy about America
and boxing, especially sports.
Yeah,
he's basically he says that everyone thinks that he's going to get parole because he's got Sig on his side. Sig Rogich said about it, quote, "I don't think my involvement plays a big role. The parole board will look at him and maybe say that it's good to see he's got a good potential business relationship waiting for him and not someone who's going to take advantage of him. I don't think the parole boards look at who he's associated with. The doctors and wardens will determine what kind of person he is."
Boy.
So he's saying whatever. So
fingers crossed that they do look into the character of the people he associates himself with.
They apparently do, because his parole in August 2004 is denied.
All right.
No boxing. So he thought he was going back to boxing.
Justice served so far.
Instead, he goes back in. And he sits back in his goddamn prison cell. He sits there. He sees demons and he hears demons. Then he hears a knock at the door. He hears a knock at the door and he thinks it's a demon.
Right.
But they come into the cell and it's not a demon.
No.
It's the Mexican pimp. And he says, "How is it you've come to arrive? Why are you here? Why do you come? I would pour you a drink, but I do not want you to be crazier than you already are. I keep my gun out, by the way. Normally I put gun in holster. I'm not sure. We never know.
You're going to have to shoot me."
Let it be so then. Let it be done. I shall shoot you if that's what it takes. Poof, and a puff of smoke and he's gone. And I said it was a demon, and they beat him with a nightstick, and they put him back in mental institution for a while. No, they don't do that.
There was a demon named Miguel in here.
Yeah, there's a demon. His name was Miguel, and he had guns, and he poured me some scotch. Okay, Ike. Whatever, buddy.
Sure, Ike.
So in Nevada prison, he was inmate number 71979. That's his autograph there.
That's pretty awesome.
That's
an easy one to remember.
Yeah, it's not bad, actually, as far as prison numbers go. Hey, that's a good. I wouldn't think anybody gets their number issued and they're like, hey, that's a good one. In prison,
I can remember
that.
That's
not bad. He's assaults guards right away. He's assaulting guards, acting like a nut. He's in the Lovelock Correctional Center. Also gets 2 degrees. He acquires 2 degrees from Western Nevada Community College, which is obviously one of the top universities in the world. It's Ivy League. He gets an Associate of General Studies, which
that's the one.
Nothing.
That's one everybody gets.
And the Associate of Applied Science and General Business.
Oh.
He got a business degree, too, which what the fuck does he need that for?
Right.
He's a lunatic.
So he doesn't need SIG?
In 2007, he has another parole hearing in August of 2007 coming up. So he is talking to the public. He's talking in the papers. Ike, he publicly asks President Bush for help regarding his August parole hearing. He literally, well, first, it's a good sign. At least he didn't think he was the president at that point. At least he acknowledged another president exists. So let's say that.
He clearly didn't hear what Kanye had to say about George Bush.
No. And he thinks he is, and he thinks he's got it too. He says, quote, "I hear he's a big boxing fan. Like I've stated, there's nothing I will not do for my fans." So in other words,
how about you fucked up in the airport named after his dad?
Well, it's like, I think he's like, well, I would do this for my fans. So if he's a fan of mine, boxing, then he'll help me out too. So August 2007, parole denied. George Bush doesn't like black people, period, apparently. So he's denied. Now let's get into possibly the craziest thing in this whole story.
Oh, boy.
This is insanity. 2008. Okay. Mother Patricia, living in Arizona, sues Arizona State University.
What?
And a professor, Dr. Nicholas Alozzi, and a guy named Michael Crow. Apparently, she's saying that recently, in 2008, around there, Patricia's daughter, and I assume Ike's sister, Sunday was her name, died. Okay? She died. Okay. Now, Patricia claims, in a fucking lawsuit, this isn't like she's not going around the street ranting and raving this. This is on legal documents filed at a courthouse that I can access, okay? She claims that Sunday is not actually dead, but is being held in the custody of the ASU research team.
Oh, my God.
She claims that ASU and Alazi they're keeping her. They've implanted chips in her brain and introduced objects into her uterus for the purposes of embryonic research.
Oh, this lady's awesome.
She also claims that Ike has been wrongly incarcerated as a part of ASU's research team's plan and conspiracy against her. They're keeping Ike out of the picture. So she thinks some guy at ASU has the power to have a man locked up in another state and kidnap a girl and keep her. So basically, I don't know. That's her fucking daughter's dead.
Unbelievable.
So this goes on in court. They dismiss it. She appeal it.
Could you be the judge on that case?
I'd
You're
love to
reading
be.
over this and be like, lady, are you fucking kidding me?
And I'm reading the court documents, and they have to be official. They're like, well, the law states that and there's no mention of this or that.
Right.
So they can't just go, this lady's obviously fucking crazy, dismissed. Like, it should be like, this is clearly insanity.
You're wasting our fucking time.
Unbelievable. She also alleges battery, false imprisonment, and rape against her daughter by ASU, Alazi, and Michael Crow.
And at this time, there was the baseline rapist going on in Arizona, and they're like, look, lady, we got Mark Godot we've got to prosecute. Listen,
we have
your
other
daughter's
issues.
Not there.
She's dead, okay? Daughter's dead.
Do you want to exhume her body? What the fuck?
Wow. So finally, June 24th, 2009, the lawsuit is dismissed completely out of court because it got there was appeals. It's insane what happened here. February 2009, parole hearing, denied again. May 2012, parole hearing, denied again.
He didn't go to Barack Obama?
No.
Maybe Barack Obama gives a shit.
Maybe? What do you think? So finally, he gets probation, or he gets parole in end of 2013.
Oh.
He is released from a Nevada state prison on February 28th, 2014.
Okay.
He's released, but he is an immigrant. So there's
under the felony.
They don't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
So they hold him. He's held by the Immigration Customs Enforcement people, by ICE. He's held in Eloy, Arizona, for an undetermined amount of time to figure out what the fuck to do with this guy.
Where do we
basically.
send this fuck?
Yeah, he is there all the way from February 28th. 2014 to November of 2015.
Oh, my God.
They keep him in the immigrant detention center, which I picture like in Scarface. Even though it's not, I still picture it in Scarface, just fences around it and just, guys walking around in
just terrible
Hawaiian shirts looking out. That's what I feel like it is. Now, on this, on the whole thing, when he finally gets out, he has a quote about, he gets interviewed and someone asks him about the rape charge, and he says, here we go. In their own words, the charge, quote, I don't want to discuss that rape charge. If you don't recognize the meaning to the accusation, anyone who intends to bring up a conviction, a charge against me without the notion that the ruling of the Supreme Court is at misconduct already. What the fuck does that mean?
What?
Where they're insulting my intelligence. I don't want to answer anything about that. That doesn't make sense.
Wow.
And it's fucking crazy.
Rambling.
And he's just like, I'm not answering shit about it. I don't fucking want to do it.
I'm not answering. Here's a bunch of words.
Yeah, he just put his ears over. I'm not listening to you.
I'm gonna throw a bunch of words together and mix Supreme Court in there, and then say I'm not answering anything.
Misconduct. What did he say? Misconduct. The words that pop: Supreme Court, intelligence. He's like, those are accusation. Those are big enough.
Those all work.
We'll throw those out there. Recognize. Fuck it. That's big for a foreigner. What the hell? They'll be impressed. So,
bunch of 9-letter words. Go on.
So that was 2015 in November. December 26th, right after Christmas 2015, Ike announces he's planning a comeback to boxing.
What?
At age 43. Yeah. He's going to box more now.
God.
What the fuck? He hires another silver-haired middle-aged one. They come out of the woodwork for this fucking guy.
How did he hire him? He has nothing.
Because he's a story.
Yeah.
He's a story. Yeah. People are interested in the story.
He's a rapist.
But he's the thing that never was.
Yeah.
He was 20-0, all the potential. He's going to be heavyweight champ, and then he disappears.
Yeah.
People are so intrigued by this guy and what happened to him. He hires Michael Conks, Koncz, who is Manny Pacquiao's advisor.
Oh.
He hires him. Ike is hoping to be on the undercard of a Pacquiao fight on April 9th, 2015 in Vegas. Ike says that he's mentally stable. He's had MRIs in prison. He'll take any tests they want to give him. He's totally fine. He's fucking ready to come back. He's good.
Yeah.
Right? On the comeback, he says, quote, in their own words, quote, I refuse to be forgotten. I refuse to be denied. I refuse to be deprived. I'm ready to get back what is mine.
Oh, God. Did that shit rhyme?
I think it did.
Take it easy, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I didn't. As I was writing it, I didn't realize. As I said it, I'm like,
who is this motherfucker?
He was like, I'm going to say this shit in poetry to show you how sane I am.
Somebody ran into Don King.
Yeah, exactly. So Koncz said about this, he said, quote, he has served his time and wants to improve himself. And Manny feels since he served his term and is trying to turn his life around, he deserves a second chance. I figure they're both Christians, I think, because Manny's a big Christian, and I think he gave him the whole Christian shit.
Yeah.
And they both decided that they were going to fucking Jesus it up together.
Jesus it up.
Only he doesn't end up getting on that fight because he can't get a boxing license in Nevada because, they don't want him in the fucking state half the time. The fight is on April 9th, and he's supposed to go to the fight anyway and kind of be on Pacquiao's team and watch the fight, just be a part of it, basically, which he would have done if he wouldn't have got arrested.
Yes.
On April 6th, 2016.
3 days before the fight.
3 days before the fight.
He can't go 72 hours.
It's good that he didn't get on the card because he wouldn't be fighting on it. No. He's arrested in Gilbert, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix, for violating the terms of his lifetime Arizona probation. That'll happen. Wow. Apparently, you're supposed to have a treatment program for a sexual assault.
Yeah.
He had to enter treatment program. Never did.
No.
Just never did one. Failed to do anything about it. So they fucking arrest him again. Unbelievable. Now, after this, okay, at least deported, right? I mean, the guy...
You'd expect so. He's a felon. He's convicted.
Multiple times.
He's been in prison.
Lifetime
He's
probation.
a fucking problem.
Not only that, he's crazy as a fucking shithouse rat. What are we doing here? So you would expect that probably we're not going to at least invite him into the country with open arms, and we're going to be cool about that. Anyway, right? September 3rd, 2016, Ike is reissued a green card. And this is by the U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services, and his application for citizenship is granted.
Oh, my God. What?
This guy has a fucking U.S. passport.
Wow.
They said, well, in all the time you've been here, you've displayed nothing but being a menace to society and a general crazy person, so we need to have you permanently. Yeah, sign right up. Why?
What the
And I'm
fuck?
all for fucking people coming in. That's great. Not that guy. That's the guy we want to keep out. The crazy guy.
That's
who
the
rapes
problem.
People.
Yeah.
The raping loons. We can keep them out.
That see demons
Right?
and get arrested in airports.
And we don't need to do background checks on them from their home country. No. He did it here.
Right.
Just look at his. Go talk to fucking prosecutor Lolly and talk to these people. They know.
Look at the frivolous lawsuits his mother is bringing against the state.
Look at
and
the
they
crazy
live
there.
together.
The air conditioning. They're being poisoned through the air conditioning, and her dead daughter's really being kidnapped and held by the Arizona State University research team, having microchips implanted into her head and devices
Strange
into her
objects
uterus.
into her uterus.
Where do you even start with that?
That's insanity.
They're so
That's
crazy
ridiculous.
that no one even sits them down and says, "You're not. This isn't right." And they just go along with it. They're like, "Just turn the air conditioning off, whatever." Like next level fucking crazy. Just turn the fucking AC, whatever. Turn the AC off. All right, I don't want to fucking hear it right now.
As a friend, though, of somebody like that, they don't have any friends. That's what it is.
No.
These people are not their friends.
Jesus Christ, no.
A friend of somebody that would love them would say, look, you're not fucking okay. There's something wrong.
They want to get them help so they don't hurt themselves or others and end up in prison. That's what a friend does. A friend wouldn't, I don't know, try to still stick you out in the ring to get punched in the head more and make you crazier.
I'd like to know how Sunday died. I feel so bad for
pockets. I do too. I feel bad for Sunday. And it's funny too, up until that, the court documents there, Sunday doesn't exist in the story.
Wow.
Like, I can't find a mention of Sunday.
Are we sure that she was real?
Apparently so. They had a name for her. Sunday, whatever her middle name was, Ibeabuchi. And I assume they would have thrown the lawsuit out immediately if it wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
Like, you've kidnapped my imaginary daughter and you're holding. They'd be like, okay, get the padded room ready for this lady. But no, they don't. They actually go through the whole process. Like I said, this happened in actual court. I'm reading this in the documents going, how did this even get filed?
Yeah.
She had to have a lawyer.
Yeah.
A lawyer filed this.
Some lawyer read this lawsuit and went, I went to fucking law school for this shit.
Well, she had to think about the process. She had to think of this. Yeah. Go, oh, my God. Then she had to contact lawyers to say, hey, I need somebody to sue ASU. And they said, oh, really? What happened? And then they explained it. And I'm sure 90% of them went, I'm not taking that case. Right. I don't know what you're talking about. There was one asshole who went, yeah, all right. I'll write that up. Sure.
I'm clear right now. I could take a case.
It's going to cost you about, $500 an hour. And, I'll work on that. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's another silver-haired middle-aged white man.
I need $15,000 retainer fee, and I'll work on that all day.
Wow. The silver hair is thick in this episode, my friends. It's thick.
It's a tuft.
It's
like
tuft.
Willie Nelson.
It's like Randy Woodfield's pube bush. That's what it is.
It's so long.
Puffy and it's just a little tip sticking out.
It's like a slimy it's like a slimy comedian coach somewhere with like a long gray ponytail.
Who's a nice person, actually, too, I have to say.
I'm sure he's a sweetheart.
He's taken much money from many people.
It just sounds so scummy.
That's one of those where I always go, he's nice to me. This is clearly just batshit upon batshit upon batshit. So Ike now he's 45 years old now, 46, 47 years old. Yeah, 47 years old, 44, was he born? 73. Yeah,
73, so he's 44.
He's 44 years old.
Yeah.
He is...
talking about a comeback.
He's talking about a comeback still.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, this was only last year that this all happened.
Do we know where he ended up? Where's he at now?
He's here. He's in Arizona.
Still in Arizona.
That's the other thing, guys. Us doing this is to our own fucking peril. This is literally a crazy person.
This is way worse than J.R. Ryder.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Way worse than J.R. J.R. Ryder wasn't violent, at least.
J.R. Ryder never talked about demons.
No, I'm physically scared of this man, too. He's like right now because he got back in shape for fighting.
Fuck!
He's 250. He's
6'2",
250, and pissed off. And we're on here
seeing
being like,
demons, and we're making fun of
you
him.
Big dumb crazy fuck.
You big dumb president.
And then we're gonna post where we are on social media and go there. So you know what I mean?
Holy shit!
This is straight dangerous. Is what we're doing here. I'm gonna update the Scummy Awards for last year. I said person most likely to hunt me down and kill me. I am putting him at the top of the list.
We've got the 2017s coming up. Don't you worry. He just jumped.
He bumped out Krotoru and went right to the head of the line because he's in town.
Everybody.
Holy shit. Yeah, I read that. I'm like, great. He lives here too. This is perfect. I really hope he's not a comedy fan.
Unbelievable.
If I look out in the audience
and stare at that fuck
and I see this fucking guy looking back at me going, I hear the demons, I am putting the mic down and I'm running after that stage.
In a lull as you're building suspense and a joke, he just goes...
Call me Mr. President. No.
That was no way to treat the president.
That's no way. I make a joke about him. I do a little crowd work, and he goes, that is not how you treat the president. And you just see a flash.
All right, everybody, good night.
Fuck that.
I'm going out the back.
I'm throwing the mic at him and running. That's it. Gone off that stage. Try to distract him quick.
2 drinks are on me. I hope you have a good night, sir.
2 drinks are on me. I got that guy's drinks. See ya. Yeah, no, put him on my tab. Now, some of these people, Bob Arum is still a rich fuck. Ike is crazy. His mom's crazy. All these other guys are still rich and silver-haired, all these Kushner and all these guys. One guy has stepped into another business, Mr. Steve Munisteri.
He's back.
He's back, and this isn't like the Pacquiao's guy who worked on the presidential or the other guys there. He now is the chairman of the Texas Republican Party.
Wow.
This piece of shit. So if you live in Texas and you vote Republican, vote this guy out. Yeah, because I don't know if the voters, I don't know how party chairs work, but put pressure on your state legislators to
nominate or figure out how to get somebody else.
Because the head of your party there is a corrupt fucking asshole.
Holy shit, is he terrible?
Who has done and he bragged about this shit too. Like he bragged about he's a braggart asshole. Ugh. He's the worst, this guy, and now he is chairman of a major party in one of the largest states in this country.
Wow.
After all the shit he's done, being a complete scumbag, trying to get Ike out, making excuses for him, saying that he shouldn't go to jail for almost killing a 15-year-old kid because he's a little depressed. Well, so am I. You know what? I'm not a fucking happy guy. You see me slamming into concrete fucking pillars with strangers scared with kidnapped children in my car? No, I don't. I come here and I yell about these assholes and I get over it.
I'm depressed nearly every day. I go home and I go in my room and I tell my kids don't bother me.
That's the way you do it.
Rather than hurting them.
That's... Rather than hurting him.
Right. Rather than packing him in my car and driving 70 into a pillar.
You said that like you literally came home and were like,
I could either hurt him.
I could just go in there. Rather than hurting him, I'll just go in there. It was 50-50, but you made the right call. That's amazing, guys. And that's Ibeabuchi.
Thanks, Ike.
In a crazy nutshell.
President Ibeabuchi.
Salute, Mr. President.
Yes,
hope everything works out for you. I hope you stay in the house and just don't come out.
And keep calling your probation officer. Keep that
Sign up for counseling like you had to do.
Get all that shit under control. Or don't and go back to jail.
Fine.
And maybe the new immigration policies will get you the fuck away from me.
Don't kill us. That's all we ask. No, he's a citizen now.
Oh,
he's
that's
a fucking
right.
citizen. He's got a passport now. He's subject to the same shit as everybody else now. We can't. That's no special treatment.
You can't kill, motherfucker.
No killing, goddammit. So unless he comes and kills us, you won't hear much more from him probably until his next mental breakdown when he goes nuts in the street, I imagine.
Speaking of other people that you'll never hear from, let's update real quick.
Yes, we need to do that.
We did an update. It's been like 3 weeks, and we would love to tell you guys that a scumbag has died. Would you like to tell them who?
Yeah, sure. Guys, Jimmie Superfly Snook is dead.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, asshole. Off the top rope, right into hell.
See you around.
He just took his Superfly splash right down into the...
He outlived the charges, and but that's all. But he didn't outlive me.
No, not us. We're here to call him fucking dead.
That he's dead, and
we're
happy.
Yeah, Nancy's family gets to go. Yeah, right, that's something.
At least he's dead, too.
We got no justice, but fuck it, he's dead.
Fuck him.
That's fine. Of course, he died.
He died an indignant death.
Yeah, but he died like 73 years old.
Yeah, but he died 73 shitting his pants
in a hospice care.
Some horrible hospice in Florida.
That's terrible. Yeah, that's not exactly WrestleMania, but whatever. That's fine. No. So, honestly, guys, if you like what you hear here and you had fun with Ibeabuchi and everything else, please get on iTunes. Give us that review. It means the world to us. Give us 5 stars,
They've been so
please.
Great.
They really have. And
Can I read one to you?
Yes, do
I
that,
want to read you an amazing one.
We have
this gal, one here. Lindsay Fantastico is her name on iTunes.
This is the one. This is she's offered us money to read this, so
Lindsay
we're going to read
Fantastico
it. We're still broke.
Wrote, "These two hilarious assholes combine comedy with true crime and sports. I have yet to find a true crime podcast that's this funny and could care less about being politically correct. If you two guys read this review, I will donate $50 to your podcast. I'm not super rich, somewhere between the average income of Sarah, Mississippi and Raynham, Massachusetts. Every time you go off on Skip Bayless, it's funny. It's that funny and much deserved, and I agree that he is a frosted-haired douche moron."
I love
Worth the money for me. Don't ever leave me. Well, Lindsay, we won't ever leave you. Matter of fact, we're going to stick around at least until you send us $50.
And you can do that through patreon.com/crime and sports, where please, guys, if you want to send us a few bucks, it really, really helps us out a lot. I can't tell you, honestly, how much time I put into this podcast, and you too. I haven't slept all week. All I've been doing is podcast stuff, and this is every week. So it really, really means a lot to us to get a little scratch in the bank off of it. So if you would, we have cool rewards on there and everything else, but please do that if you so feel the need. If not, give us a iTunes review. That's fine, too. You can do that. Also, you can get a hold of us on social media, on at Crime and Sports, on Twitter, on Instagram at Crime and Sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com. You can get a hold of us on emails like these fine people have that we have a shout-out for, a bunch of shout-outs. Before we do that, too, her reference to Sarah, Mississippi and Raynham, Massachusetts are to our other podcast, Small Town Murder, which you need to follow because
it's so much fun.
It's great, and it's a good time, and it's we have fun with true crime, and we talk about the town and kind of how it works in the murder. Also, too, listen to me on P.S. I Hate This Movie, where we rip apart bad romantic comedies, which is a fun time, too. But let's go into these shout-outs, Jimmie. What do we got?
Real quick to mention, Small Town Murder is there's no sports involved. So if that's something that you don't want to hear about, go there. But also keep listening here because we like having you.
Spread the word.
People that donated, Tin Can Dan in Australia.
Oh, we love you, Tin Can Dan.
The guy is so amazing.
He's the best.
He has enough problems in his life.
He
quit
social media.
He quit social media.
Which is fine.
I'm fine with it.
He sends us messages, and we love you, Tin Can Dan.
You're terrific. Kate Thorpe, Erica Hogan, and Chris Brown, thank you guys so much for everything.
Thank you for your Patreon donations. That means the world to us.
And
you
Bobby
guys are
Williams,
all-stars.
Bobby Williams on Instagram posts every week a picture of of which podcast he's listening to, and every week he listens to us. So thanks, Bobby. Tim Turney in Portland, Rachel Morgan Myers and Zach Myers.
Oh,
in
those
Texas.
two, the couple. I swear to God, if they ever, I love those two because they love us a lot. Yeah. But if we are ever like in Texas, they're going to drug us and have sex on our corpses. I know it. I know it. Us on top of us. It's going to be gross.
Like a Guantanamo prison.
We're going to pass out on there, and they're just going to be like, now we're humping.
Zach's shit dripping all off of us.
So we're a little frightened, but we love you guys anyway. We're just kidding.
Big Jeff in New York City learned about us because Jay Bird dropped a mention of us on the Anthony Cumia show online. And he found us there, and he listened to us ever since. So thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.
Jeff Kiker, Marissa Albanese, and Mike Juden. Thank all of you so much for the interaction and the comments,
everything, reaching out to us,
and
especially the Patreon
donations we've gotten. You guys are
us.
so awesome, and we can't do this without you. So thank you.
We love having you guys
so
on
much.
board. Because honestly, guys, we don't have a network.
No,
we're getting to the point now where we have a shitload of listeners now. We're doing well with the listeners, and we're getting
our
some
network
recognition.
Are you.
But you're our network.
That's
honestly, we built this from nothing.
Yeah.
A year ago, we had 14 listens one day. I mean, that's what it was. That's
James wanted to jump off a cliff.
I did want to jump off a cliff. I wanted to stop doing it. Literally, I said, "What the fuck am I doing?"
The phone call was hysterical.
I said, "Why am I doing all this fucking work, man? I've been up all night,
James, give it time,
researching shit." And I'm like, that was right before Eddie Johnson, and then the Eddie Johnson story in episode 9 was so awesome and so engrossing that I was like, "Nah, I'm doing this whether anyone's listening or not because this is fun and I don't care, and I think it's funny." So I'm so glad we kept with it. And it's because of you guys, really. You guys have built this up. The crime and sports movement, it's all you guys. Thank you so much for spreading the word. And we're going to be back here each and every week, as always. So that said, you want to give them your social media,
Yeah,
Jim?
I am at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN, Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. It's been an unbelievable week with you guys, so thank you so much. And if you want to come see me live, I'll be at the San Jose Improv this weekend, April. Jesus, why do I keep saying that? February 17th through the 19th with Jesse May Peluso. If you want tickets, email crimeandsports@gmail.com, and I'll take care of you. Other than that, James, what do you got? Where are you at?
I'm at Jimmie P is funny. You can find me on social media.
There it is.
James Pietragallo if you want to try
Best
to
of luck
have
spelling
fun
that shit.
spelling a long Italian last name. Please follow us. Say hello. We'd love to have you. And we're going to be back every week after this.
So much fun.
Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.